30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
So, yeah, I would try to get a little bumski on the backpack. But, yeah, every time I look at it, I go, man, that's for $40 sitting there.
It's how our brains work, Bubba. We can't really help it. It's in our blood.
Meanwhile, Lummy looks at his and be like, "Oh man, you know what?
Thank you so much.
I love that backpack. I love the guy it represents. That's my guy right there. That's my guy."
I think if you autograph it for Seth, that's when you get nervous, because that means he's probably going to try to sell it for like 120.
Well, yeah, just don't personalize it to me. You can sign it Bubba the Love Sponge in a gold marker, but just don't put 2 Seths because I want it to be flexible.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
I don't even know where to stay. I don't even know. It's like, hello, good morning. It's been a while. We're all probably really tired right now because,
Yep.
well, I mean, our routines are. One, we've been gone. We're coming from a little mini vacation, Thursday, Friday, so we were off then, and then the weekend, and then obviously the Super Bowl, where everybody tried your hardest to stay up. For you guys, probably not as big a deal because you guys don't have such a regimented bedtime as I do. But I'm like, I'm Johnny 5:30. I'm 246. You know what I'm saying?
Even last night?
No.
What time did you make it till?
I made it till like 10:25.
Whoa!
Oh, really? Like,
Did you
pretty
see the
much
end of the game?
No, I did not see the end of the game.
Oh.
I when I left Lummy, the Chiefs had just tied it up 16-16.
Yeah.
So that was like third. Wasn't it like into the third? No,
yeah.
that was into the fourth, wasn't it?
Started in the fourth.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll just have to read about it and do a lot of research about it and stuff. So
The TT99 was kicking in?
yeah, my TT99 was kicking in.
It's
so
hard to fight.
I don't. I just feel like we're getting our on-air legs underneath us, and we have to. I mean, the majority. I hate to be like every other radio show in America today, but you just have. If you're going to be a show that is somewhat about pop culture, somewhat about us and the drama that we get into, and various ways that we view politics and just pop culture topics, some of which are controversial. We're not. We're kind of an abrasive, opinionated. Something going on. Is there a robbery?
I heard that too. I don't know what it was.
Sorry, the Bub Army feed was messed up.
Was
Sorry.
that on your side?
Yep, sorry.
Okay, no problem. You completely threw me off now.
I know, I'm sorry.
Jesus. So anyway, every show in America, and we have to too. Usually, I don't think I toe the. We're going to talk pretty much about what every show in America is talking about. I don't think usually that's very often. I think that we sometimes we don't even talk about really, really important stuff that we should. We just get down our own rabbit hole. And talk
That happens often.
Talk about us. Be like, yeah, screw that school shooting. Let me let me tell you about what happened at Bubba Raceway Parkhead this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I was on the grader, and I was on the tiller. I was on the D-Rocker. I was on the Harley rake. I was on the High Reach. I was on the Lowell. I was on the Moffett. I was in the water truck.
You get
I
after it.
was on the Lily Tilly, the Harley rake.
They had all those things
Yeah.
at Sunshine Speedway.
No.
Or this weekend.
Hold on.
Sunshine, really?
What do you
They
mean?
had all this heavy equipment and clay and dirt, and I don't know what they were doing. They covered half the infield was covered up. They had to change the track. They're doing some big projects out there.
No, they're gonna probably add dirt to it.
They may. It looked like they could be. I mean, they had all these vehicles staged. They had piles of looked like clay.
Yeah. So you saw that?
I saw that. Yeah, and the track was already like partially like covered with dirt. It was weird.
Oh, really?
It's like in the middle of something.
Like, are you just saying this to screw with me? Or are you really just like for real?
No, dude. They had to do an alternate route for the go-kart racing, and like the infield was covered in dirt, and there was piles of dirt everywhere, and there's a lot of like big all these vehicles you're describing.
Wow. That means because East Bay's closing, it looks like Yoho is going to be, try to turn that into. I guarantee you, they're going to try to turn it into a dirt track.
Really? Can you do that over asphalt? I guess it's the right foundation. You just cover it with layers of dirt.
My track is that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the other thing
There's
is
cement underneath all that dirt.
Yeah, but the other thing is, I don't know if I know the state of Florida has the lease of that land. The guy who runs Showtime cannot own it. He can only lease it from Florida because that was supposed to originally be part of that whole big overpass infrastructure. And
they worked around it, I think.
Well, no, it was somehow the plans got changed. The state of Florida bought the property like in 1997 from the longtime family that owned Showtime, or it was called Sunshine Speedway, okay,
right,
for like $18 million. The state of Florida bought it from her. I think her name was Bonnie. They bought it from her because they had plans. Well, then after the plans finally got finalized, they didn't need that parcel of land. A lot of times they'll overbuy just so they have some leeway to make some plans, and they probably did that at this, and they paid her $18 million for it. So it was closed for years, and then after they built the overpass in there, they realized that the speedway didn't get demolished, that it was still intact. So then they opened it up for people to bid to lease it, but not ever own it, but to lease it. So. Well, and if they paid $18 million, if they were to sell it, don't you think one would think that it would have to be at least $18 million?
You would think.
Okay, then.
Who'd spend $18 million for that lump of dirt?
What I'm just saying is so that track closed. Now then they reopened under asphalt conditions. Supposedly, I think Yoho thinks that he can't pull the same crowd for asphalt racing on Saturday as he would if it was a dirt track. So it looks like he's going to enter the dirt track game. Good luck to you, buddy.
You want to buy East Bay?
You can't buy East Bay. It already sold.
Oh, well, so what are they going to do with it?
Dan,
I'm sorry.
Dan.
What?
It's 7 minutes into my break, and you already got me squirreled with a dirt track deal, which you know that I'm going to be just so inquisitive to your information. But we're supposed to be talking about the Super Bowl, you dipped shiz.
But we're also talking about the fact that we don't always just talk about the easy answer culture topic.
But we are today.
Okay.
I don't tell people we're going to talk about the pop culture topic if we're not going to talk about it. If you indeed squirrel me from what I'm trying to tell people is not going to happen.
Wait, what?
No, I'm telling people.
I got confused with all the knots.
I'm telling people that today we're not going to get down our little personal rabbit holes. We're going to extensively cover the Super Bowl.
For 4 hours.
Which leads me to you, Anna.
So buckle up.
Which leads me to you. You could have... Don't take this the wrong way.
I probably will, but okay.
Do not take this the wrong way because simply you do not know. You do not know the pop culture effect of the Super Bowl, and especially men, how the men of society really like to talk about the Super Bowl.
I mean, I would love to talk about the Super Bowl. I watch every minute of it.
Well, you didn't prepare me very much. That's what I'm trying to say for it. Is as important as the Super Bowl is, you sent me one little article, just a little bullcrap article about, here it is. This is what you sent me.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is what you sent. Now, hold on. This is what you sent me. Chiefs defeat 49ers 25-22 in an overtime thriller. And then it goes on and gives you kind of the various, high spots within the within the.
I apologize.
Just sit here and take it.
Yeah.
So then, like, this article is about as just lazy, and it's the first thing that clicked up as it could be, because I then said, well, here's the things that came to my head if I was preparing this show, and knowing that, the Super Bowl is as important as it really is, and people want to know these things. I went and found 2024 Bud Light Super Bowl commercial, because I would think that my host might want to talk about the fact that Bud Light's now trying to get back in the good graces of America.
Sure, they're trying hard.
Okay, see,
Yeah.
that's a producer type mentality. As you're preparing for the show, when you prepare for the show, you have to prepare for what I like to talk about.
Right.
Okay. Secondly, top 10 funniest Super Bowl ads. Don't you think we probably should be talking about that? I think most of America is talking about that. Maybe a compilation of the best ones, because as I was researching the first ones, it didn't seem to have them all. So I was going to try to find maybe a compilation of them, because this one here says top 10. Well, what about the other ones?
Yeah.
What about 11 through 60? Even if they sucked, I want to know the commercials that were ran. Then, as I found it interesting, and as I was prepping myself for the Super Bowl, all the celebrities that were cited at the Super Bowl. Don't you think that's kind of probably something kind of fun to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, Lummy, the Super Bowl is is one of the very few sports that has outrageous prop bets.
They sure do.
How long the national anthem's going to be? How many times they show Taylor Swift? How is there going to be a streaker? All kinds of different things. I would think that that would be something that you might want to prepare me for, or at least it's another really cool aspect about the Super Bowl. Then let me again more, and then so as I was researching that, I'm like, there doesn't seem to be enough video, so I'll try to find a video of the same topic. And this is the video. So more celebrities. There were like 4 different websites that had the celebrities of Super Bowl 58, but it didn't seem like one of them covered them all. They all had bits and pieces of like almost different ones. Like I could not find a compilation of celebrities. I just found smatterings. So then, I'm thinking Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that should be shown. Yeah.
How many? That was the big hubbub. Taylor Swift. She's going to fly from
Tokyo.
and now of which on that I'm like, I had it somewhere. Let me right here.
That she took her second plane to Vegas.
Here we go. So that it was such a big deal. Taylor Swift's appearance at the Super Bowl was such a big deal that CBS actually broke into KCAL News of Los Angeles to do a report that her plane is now landing in, like, that. The only time that they do any type of let's break to coverage of the plane landing is like when our president is coming home from just negotiating a huge peace deal with Ukraine and Russia, right?
Yeah.
And, it's only or when there's a plane in distress, they'll show some live coverage of a plane. Remember the time that Payne Stewart died?
Oh yeah.
They actually showed footage of the plane fly up there, and they could show the windows were frozen out and everybody.
Sad.
So I'm thinking, okay, Taylor Swift being at the Super Bowl might be kind of a big thing. So as I researched that, Lummy, I then find a story that said, here, we're going to cut it away over to Leroy. Leroy, tell us what you got going on. There's footage of Taylor Swift's Gulfstream 650 touching down at the Las Vegas airport. Oh, hold on, it's pulling into the hangar. It looks like it's trying to get some privacy so that the world's most popular person in the world, who happens to be dating a Kansas City Chiefs who's playing for the Super Bowl, just flew from her Tokyo stage performance all night in the 18 hours plus maybe 12 hours. I don't know. But she's here. She's a superhero. She made it. How many other businessmen and other important people flew in for the game? Nobody covered their flight coming in.
No,
I'm sure that
here comes the CEO of Kawasaki flying in, right? Some dude that some big time CEO abroad that was flying into Vegas. Nobody covered that.
And I'm sure there were a lot of private jets flying into Vegas this weekend.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? This is like one of those events which really draws people with private.
You
aircraft.
don't realize, man, having a little prop Willie, but flying when when my little 8-passenger 414, we flew where the big boys did. Like we got to go park right by that Citation 10, but they usually your normal like if you're at a decent sized private FBO, Dan, usually it's about $100 a day tie down fee. It's like a
docking fee.
But that's just like if you and I are going away for a weekend. That's what it normally is at most airports. Sometimes as low as $50. Sometimes on little airports, it's free.
Yeah, just pat them on the back, give them a tip, and buy gas.
Or hey man, let's go ahead and buy 40 gallons of gas from them. Because we need it anyway.
Right.
So, and then they get their little gas sales and it's a little mom and pop deal, and it's a big deal. But when big airports have there's like a certain event that you're going to have more private air travel, these FBOs, these private little, because see, within the airport there's another little terminal called an FBO, and that's where all the private people fly out of. It's like usually a wing of the airport, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
And so it's a wing of an airport.
Unless it's in the middle of nowhere.
And it's got its own little lobby, and there is no TSA. There is none.
Nope, no security.
No security, because they feel like if you want to blow your own plane up, blow it up.
Please.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like they don't care. I mean, sometimes they'll have some drug sniffing dogs, but they're
only really on coastal stuff when it's like an immigration issue, like if you're going to the Bahamas or coming from South America,
or you're exactly. That's kind of a selective basis based on where you're if you came from Lexington, Kentucky to Tampa, Florida, they're not going to see if you got they
don't care.
So within these are little mini airports and they're FBOs. And it's where all the rich people fly in, and they usually charge about $50 to $100 just a day. But when the big time events come in, these FBO, Dan, they charge like $4,000 a spot.
Really?
Oh, for real? They charge like $4,000. I mean, what are you gonna do?
All right.
It's like
no alternative.
Or then the other alternative is for you to park your plane like in this dirt field. You got like they have like a big dirt field where they have plane overflow.
Oh, it's like a job or cell phone lot.
Yeah, so if you don't want your $35 million jet to get all the paint get all beat up on it and stuff if it's out there in the field. So you pay the $4,000 a day, right?
Wow. Yeah, I guess.
Because I got to pay $12,000 to protect my $35 million. I mean, it makes math sense, right?
Except
to protect my $35 billion piece of equipment.
Right, but I mean, it's just dirt. Are you going to pay a guy $3,500 to just wash your plane? How much does it cost to detail a plane?
Oh, about $4,000.
Oh, okay, so it's that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. So anyway, they really gouge the hell, and then they'll also jack up their fuel, because I mean, there's nobody that's making them buy. Yeah, I don't know if there is I mean, Lummy, if I got a gas station and I'm charging, you're charging. What's the going rate for gas? Like $2.35?
$3-ish.
Yeah, it's way higher than that.
$3.20, $3.25.
Is it $3? That shows you how I told you I'm paying attention. Because when
back to 19.
The Merch Creek keeps my truck full. Lummy, I hate going to the gas station. She keeps my truck full, so I can't tell you the last time I was at a gas station. For real.
Is that groceries?
Man, I got a pretty damn good girlfriend. She even keeps my truck full.
Yeah, you don't have to stop.
With whose money?
Well, with my money.
Oh, okay.
She's got my credit card with my money.
Oh, nice.
But she keep like when she came and picked me up on, was it Wednesday of last week?
Yeah,
Wednesday of last week, and there's days I have to get out of here right at a certain time if I'm headed to the track, and so she'll pick me up at work fully packed up, like she's
and gassed up and air conditioner.
Yes.
What an angel.
Tire pressure checked.
she had everything ready.
That's kind of my rule. Okay, if you're gonna fill it up and we're gonna go on a long trip, which is to Ocala, 120 miles, I need you to fill it up and have the air pressure check so that I can literally just buckle up and we can go. There are no delay. I'd like to have a bottle of water, a cold bottle of water.
Nice.
And then I would like for you not to talk to me until we get to State Road 56.
And she is driving or not anymore?
No,
she lost those privileges.
She will never drive again.
Oh no.
She will never drive again.
Well,
never drive you, or just never drive in general?
Well, I mean,
well, she has to go get gas in the car.
Yeah, no, she can drive in general privately all she wants. I need her driving a lot.
But you'll never let her drive.
No,
you?
hold on, Dan. I need her on the roads a lot, running a lot of errands for me and stuff.
Right.
I'm just saying, I got a lot of things.
She's got to be
on.
mobile.
She's like my assistant too. She's not only my girlfriend,
Slave.
she's my assistant.
Oh, I mean assistant.
Well, yeah. I mean, but Dan, when I get here on Wednesday, I don't have the time to stop by a gas station, get gas. I need that done. That saves me 20 minutes.
Right.
Because I got to get to the track. Like, Dan, it would be like a way, like if for some reason you could expedite yourself to surgery from here. Well, you're kind of the same way. When you walk in surgery, don't you have like assistants and stuff that have your stuff all ready for you?
Oh, yeah. I don't set any of that stuff up.
Right.
It's all there.
Right.
Yeah, it's way nicer.
Right. So anyway, so I can't even remember what
You're
we're talking
about. The covering her plane landing like they were covering Trump doing the flyby at the Daytona 500.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Anna, you didn't have me prepped on any of that stuff. Nothing.
I have zero defense. I apologize.
Looks like she had 2 planes too.
Hold on, Anna. It gets better.
Yeah.
Then you had no halftime. I mean,
yeah, I did. The performance?
You did?
Yeah.
You did have, okay.
Yeah.
You did, all right.
Yeah, I made sure I got that. I do have to apologize. I had unexpected guests yesterday that I wasn't expecting.
And then an overview of the game. The high spots of all the, if...
I didn't know if those were available by the time I went to bed, but I should have got up early and put them in the...
So
I do apologize.
So I'm not trying to get mad at you. These are things I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to tell you, from now on, and from now on during big games, as a man, because you're not a man, so
I'm not.
You cannot think like potentially of what a man would like.
I cannot.
So we need to kind of have you trying to start working on that. Trying to think like a man. When you're doing see, I'm not replacing you. I'm giving you an opportunity to...
Just giving me insight.
Yeah, just giving you a few pointers on how to prepare me, because that's part of your job.
Yep.
So, one, try to think like a man. Do you often prepare at trying to think how I think?
Yes. Like when I see stuff about dirt tracks or sports or heavy equipment.
So how do you think like a man? Like you just think about like your testicles and your stomach and nothing else?
I just go like,
yeah, she's just
and grunt.
So here's the deal.
Just pump things.
I'm not taking prep away from her at all, but I am asking, one, if anybody sees, if randomly throughout your travels, being on the internet and reels and TikTok and all the things that, even you, Dan, from Seth to Lummy to Dan to Macho Man to Rhett, if you see something that could potentially you think I would want to talk about, don't anticipate that Anna's going to find it. Can you get it to me, or at least get it to her? Get it. Bubba might want to talk about this. There you go.
Yeah.
I've had people do that in the past. I do apologize that it was
let's do it more.
Not very thorough coverage.
Oh, it's horrible. I mean, you can break the Super Bowl into. I mean, I broke it into like 7 different things just now, and I didn't even get into things like. As I was preparing for the Super Bowl, I got down a. I know that you and Rhett took my $10,000 on my bookie.com and went and did straight prop bets.
Yes, we did.
Well, like a lot of men like to talk about the prop bets.
Okay.
There was, and the Super Bowl happens to be one of the biggest events ever when it comes to goofy prop bets. Not every game. Like Lummy, you're not going to be able to vote on the Rangers Lightning tonight whether the national anthem's going to be 93 seconds or less.
No,
they don't offer that just on regular games.
Yep. Only
on super big games. So on just in general, but especially on super big sporting events, Lummy, I'm going to have like a council of prep people where you guys all step in and make think like a man and get the information to her so she can get it to us.
No problem.
So Anna, please just know that the boys are going to start sending you some things
for next Super Bowl.
No, just
in general.
In general.
Okay.
I don't want to inundate you every day, but like if I'm sure each guy will find one or two a day. I think juggling 8 or 9 additional ones, just patient. And you know what? You can even have you have yours, and then you have like a little line that says, "And here's from the rest of the staff."
Okay.
So
I didn't know if you want me to further categorize that.
What do you mean?
Into entertainment, news, sports.
No. Just
everything else miscellaneous.
Yes, that would take more work breaking all their stuff into sections.
Or just adding it to the existing.
Nope. Or you can just say, hey,
okay,
here's a clump
from the rest of the staff.
Here's a clump from the staff.
But wait, there's more.
What?
I mean, that could be the category.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh look at you! Look at you! You're so smart.
Am I?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know what you were even talking about there, and it was
You're
about
like,
me.
What?
And it was about me. I thought, yeah, I'm so
Wait,
stupid.
You're like, where?
I'm so stupid, Dan, that I'm yelling at her, but she tells me there's more, and I ask her what. Dan, I'd be like, you yelling at a nurse, she'd be like, listen, bitch, you're not doing this right. She goes, but hold on, Dan. Wait. As you're yelling at me and telling me what I don't do, there's more, buddy.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What?
Give it to me now.
All right, so let's just all have a little bit better of a tether into Anna. If you see something,
say something.
Yeah, if you see something, say something.
Yeah, perfect.
If you see something, send something. There you go, Lummy.
All right.
If you see something, send something.
Will do.
Now, do you think Jay's listening to the show where we can say okay, today's phrase that pays, today's employee, today's
It's the phrase that pays.
Today's employee only phrase that pays is if you see something, send something.
We can even give him a hint. We'll say if you see something, he'll say something. He'll screw it up.
He won't even. He doesn't
no
know.
idea.
Yeah, he's still in bed. Literally, I guarantee you, Jay's still in bed.
Which I'm a
With
little
restless
jelly.
legs.
Which at the end of the day, I mean, let's just be honest, where we'd all prefer to be right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a late night.
Let's not hang Jay to be out to be the bad guy.
No, we're
let's
jealous.
say, hey, everybody cuts their own deal, and Jay has to. Hey, I have to be there at 8:30. That means literally I can get up at 7:30, quick shower, quick. If I don't have any hearings or anything like that, and I'm just going cash. I can literally, I can do it all in an hour, right? Pew 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 pew. Yeah. So anyway, Jay wouldn't know that anyway as well. So. So then I know that I told you and Rhett, this might be something Anna didn't know. So let me this would have been some responsibility of you or Rhett. Yep. If you guys were thinking for the show, you would have said, we did our Friday sport. We did our Wednesday sport show. And that was the last live show that was done here on the network, right?
Yes.
Right. And within that show, Bubba told us to go to his mybookie.com deal.
Yeah.
And he had $10,000 in there. It would be almost like giving the kid. Dan, talk about being the most irresponsible parent ever. Me giving them my $10,000 MyBookie account for them just to go. Literally, I told Lummy, go in there and blow it all. I don't care.
That's responsible.
That'd be like
Drink all of it.
No, Dan, that'd be like giving Sophia and little Danny each 1,000 and dropping off at the Hard Rock and say, "Hey man, go play it all.
Knock yourselves out.
Go blow it all."
I'll be back in an hour."
Yep, it's gonna be a hell of an arcade game.
I mean, for real, would they even know how to bet?
I think Sophia'd figure
They'd probably
it
go
out.
right to the slot machines.
Yeah, just do slots.
Yeah,
It's easier.
but I don't even know if they'd be able to comprehend. If they could comprehend,
Dude, they can play video games. If they can play Madden 24, they can play slots. Come on, dude. Old ladies play it.
Do your kids have a comprehension of money though? Do they have?
Yeah, they think it grows on trees like strawberries.
No. See, Dan. See that's exactly what I'm saying. Is that your kids?
It's only $5,000.
Yeah.
Dude, I will smack you.
Hold on,
little Danny.
Hold on. You're telling me that your kids are so goddamn rich, thinking that your kid, you just did an imitation of little Danny saying, It's only $5,000.
That's not how he said it.
That being, you imitated.
It's only $5,000.
It's only $5,000. It's only $5,000. So you imitate little Danny, and so in order to be able to do that, he has had to say that before.
Well, I was using
And
a
I
extreme example.
I cannot wrap my head around the fact that a kid would tell his parents, "It's only $5,000, Dad." My dad would have hit me over the head with anything he could find if I would have said that to him.
Right, exactly. Grab anything.
Yeah. I mean, like back in the day, like I can remember going to my parents, like when I was 14 or 15 and I wanted something, and but it was like $12 or something. I can remember going like, "Hey, Dad, there's something down at the 3D Danner's Discount Department Store was the big place to go find. They had like everything from record players to, you know, like lawnmowers. Let me kind of like a Walmart. It was like an early Walmart.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't used like a pawn shop. It was just like a sell anything store.
Dollar store.
In Warsaw, Indiana, it was called 3D, and it was the equivalent to Walmart of nowadays. You know, it had a the only thing it didn't have is it didn't have any groceries, but it had
Walmart used to not.
But that's what it was. It was an early Walmart. It had, like, you know, if you needed they had a few tools back there, and if you needed a gun, they had some ammo back there, and if you wanted to buy a record player or buy a boom box, it was there. If you wanted to buy a model airplane, it was there.
Wow.
If you wanted to buy some different clothes, it was there. If you wanted to buy a chainsaw, it was there. So if you go down to, if I would have told my mom there was something at 3D that was $12, like that would have been like the maybe 20.
Wow.
Would have been the max. Like that would only been in my, like, you know, when I was like 13 or 14, a little bit older. I don't even think I knew how to ask for money until I was like maybe 12 or 13. Like how to even formulate, you know, the thought of asking.
I learned that young.
I guess.
Before she learned Mama and Papa, she learned money.
Shekels.
She learned PayPal.
So, anyway, Lummy, we're just going to try to prepare a little bit better because Anna really dropped the ball. I had to spend like an additional 30 minutes today, and I feel as if I still haven't prepped myself like I should with regards to us covering the Super Bowl. So, Anna,
I completely dropped the ball, and I apologize.
Not mad at you, but we're just going to try to, all of us collectively, be better.
I'm sorry.
No, just collectively.
It was no one else's responsibility but my own.
No,
and
but
I dropped the ball.
But if your responsibility, if you got some people that are bird dogging a little bit, it also helps your responsibility. I mean, right? If I'm just like if the people, if the Funky Bunch, the rest of the crew send you a total of 8 stories between them all. That's 8 stories potentially that you don't have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? You'll see what they're about, and you'll be like, okay, I don't have to worry about that one. I got, he's got it covered. So, I think it may
Sorry, team. I feel bad.
It may diversify your.
I mean, I think I have a pretty good breath, except for when it comes to this sports.
But it might make you better.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
I feel really bad. I messed up.
It's okay.
I mean, we're not even touching the Black National Anthem and the big controversy.
The Black National Anthem.
I did miss that.
See, Lummy. So listen, Lummy. I'm going to go into commercials right now.
Yeah.
And everybody, me, stuff that you're finding about the Super Bowl that we probably should be talking about, like, for instance, the Black National Anthem, and like that. Is there a controversy there?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a controversy.
I thought I thought did a pretty good job.
Post
Malone.
Yeah, he actually did.
It's interesting.
I really.
It's not expected at all.
He's kind of, I don't want to say he's typecast, but he just looks grungy and dingy.
He looks dirty.
He just looks dirty.
But he sings pretty.
I know.
He sings clean.
He looks dirty
and sings clean.
but sings
He
clean.
used to be a country singer.
Really?
I
Yeah.
would think
Didn't
maybe.
work, so he's like, let me do this.
Oh, it's working now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No kidding.
I like the silver teeth.
I would think that I probably, Lummy, if I was preparing for the show, would have the Post Malone piece, because a lot of people in America are talking about that right now.
It was more memorable than the Reba McEntire national anthem.
Yeah, I mean that was. I wouldn't even prepare myself on the Reba McEntire. I would say no. That would be an article that you don't have to send to me. Wouldn't want that one.
Okay, sorry. I did put the Ursher halftime show.
The Ursher.
Usher.
I got to go into words. I think I went and found some halftime. So don't send me halftime stories, because I have those.
And these
Okay.
are only Super Bowl related.
All right, so these are the stories that I have. Okay, let me so that nobody goes back. I have 2024 commercials. I had the commercials handle, okay? And then I got the celebrity, all the celebrities. And then I got the prop bets, and then more celebrities and more celebrities. Taylor Swift on her amount of time that she was on TV. Another article about that and her landing, and then I have a highlight reel of the game, and then Lummy, I have you guys. I told you to blow all of my $10,000 on mybookie.com. I said take it and blow it.
It was nerve-wracking.
Be like sending a kid, like I said earlier, to a department store and just said go blow it, everything. I don't care. So, giving your kids 10. Well, Dan, can you imagine giving? Well, you could.
Yeah.
Give Sophie a 5 and little Danny 5 and say go below it. That wouldn't be necessarily that big of a reach for your family.
$5?
No, $5,000.
Oh, that would be a reach. Come on.
How about
man.
500?
That's something.
All right, see?
Yeah, exactly.
See, Lummy, I could not even wrap my head around right now.
I could not.
Back in the day, I could. I used to be where Dan used to be, but in today's world, I could not just say, I'd give my best friend 500 and say, yeah, you know what, just go, whatever, go, see you later, do whatever you want. I just can't. I'm just not at that point yet.
I've had to borrow cash from my kids. They have like a little depot of cash, those two. Yeah, from like gifts and stuff like that, they just like, have a little
You know what? I guarantee you, both his kids roll around with like 2 G's walking around.
Yeah,
money.
probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
They probably
flipping hundies to the valet guy.
I bet you little Danny and Sophia roll around with like maybe $100, $200 cash on them, and like another $800 on the mattress
At all times.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're loaded.
She's got $800 to $1,000 on the mattress, but she carries 2 in the purse.
And they could buy and sell me.
Man, I'm saying. So anyway, I gave the kids the permission to go crazy on my $10,000, and it looks like you lost about $3,000.
Not too bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse because we were
not
doing
too bad.
Yeah.
We were trying to. I wanted to open this up this morning, Lummy, and say, "Oh my God, it's $39,000."
I know.
Red and Lummy are the best.
That's what we were hoping for.
Instead, it's you know what? That's exactly a great par for us, right? Really good, good people would have good radio. I mean, you guys do a sports show, do you not?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, it's like there's probably some sports shows that gave out some bets that won a lot of money, right?
Yes.
And then there was probably some sports shows that gave out some information, and the fans did not win any money because they were wrong. What is just optically? What does it look like? You and Rhett might be.
We're on the downside. We lost.
You guys are on the crappy. We don't know where. Lummy, it hurts me knowing that I've crafted you and Rhett into the co-host that you've become, trying to do a good show on your own. I'm trying to take 2 little pieces of clay and mold them into great radio people, and I wish I would have been on the right side of it. You know how proud of a pop I would have been. Even if it would have been like $1,000 or even $800.
No, it's just a P-bomb.
But my guys lose me 3.
$2,916.
That should be your new show. That should be your new show name.
Minus
negative $2,916.
For those
scoring at home. We've been heat-free for 17 minutes.
I can't hear, so I don't understand.
Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
Good morning. Hey, Simon.
Bubba, I sent you one article from me and one from Macho.
Hey, man, it's with them all.
I sent you some Taylor Swift chugging a beer and the Black National Anthem. The Black
They
song.
sing it? I didn't see it on TV, did they?
I
You like it? Yeah. They
So
did it
you
super early.
Oh, early? Is that why I missed it?
Yeah.
Must have been when they were switching from TV to projection TV. I missed that part.
When I say I saw the whole game, I mean I didn't see the first half.
It was like 6:30. Games were 6:30. They did it at like
5:15.
5:50. Like they did it. Usually it was like the Black National Anthem, God Bless America.
Something like the gun guy.
Black National Anthem.
Couple
70
movies.
minute stories. Something else.
Some vignettes.
Yeah.
I scratched double or triple. I don't understand a happy haircut. Dr. Dan. I don't understand what that means, but. Fran Orlando, maybe you can explain it. Big longer. Boba's grain of rice.
What's up, bro, bull? If only Unity.
She was in the stream. You could see the trolls. So fast. It's like they stand out.
Who?
Troll comments. You see, it's a new person's name or something you don't recognize.
So there's in all caps. The fan Orlando. And yesterday we had some unexpected guests from France show.
Really? Well, like French Canadians?
No, dude. I used to live with her when I was in Australia.
Oh, chick.
Yeah, and she has a husband and 2 kids now, and they're doing a road trip for a year around the States.
Who does that?
They do.
And they just like suck off other people's titties?
No.
The whole time, like stay at people's beds,
No.
sort
She
of
was in a
net.
trailer that they live in.
Oh, okay.
Which is super cool, but I wasn't expecting them. And then all of a sudden they're like, we're here. I'm like, what do you mean you're here? So it was a bit of a fiasco. I tried to learn French from Alexa in like 2 hours.
It was like the Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation when his brother-in-law just shows up at the fucking
I was like, what do you mean you're here? It's like, we're here.
We're here for a week.
I'm like, what's
We're here driveway.
So I had like 2 hours notice to fucking like clean the house, get food, do all this shit.
Bullshit. Such fucking
And
bullshit.
then she speaks English, but her kids and her husband don't. So I just was speaking English to the kids in a French accent, which I realized was not helpful. I'm like, hello.
We're supposed to send this by message to Bubba?
No, I don't think you're on, Trillian. Just tell me, and then I'll
Okay,
say it's,
I'll just-
you know. But wait, there's more from Dan.
Most important thing for the whole fucking weekend. I sent it.
Yeah, I missed that. Oh.
Those are my two contributions.
All the big memes that are going around.
Huh?
Some of the big memes going around. Kelsey been typing in everything like that's what happens when you get the sixth booster. Remember Kelsey?
He didn't catch anything. Did he hit 1 yard in the first half?
Yeah.
Booster boy. So Bulls, the worst lawyer, Gary Cantrell, big lawyer. Oh. We made Tom's handy.
It's like the one thing I don't have.
What's your man?
Yeah, he is indigestion.
Yeah, I see all the bullshit food I ate. Oh, I literally ate. It was such a fucking long game. I ate for 4.5 fucking hours.
I believe it, dude. I've seen you do it.
Ugh, it was torture. Suffered all the night.
What is there not to like about the show? Bubba the Love Sponge.
Guys are awesome.
And I love the sponge.
The show's cool. It's real, man.
He makes me laugh my ass off every time I listen.
I'm a full trucker effect, man, so it gets me through the day all the time.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Is it me, or do we have a very limited rotation of bump back in music? Mach's mic is up. It's like we have like 5 of them, and I all feel like I'm on mushrooms and I'm in a rave.
So I'm in a protein bar.
What?
I'm in the protein bar. Creative Services is waiting on the female voice to make some new stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
No, you don't have any idea.
Oh.
But he is correct. So
with his protein bar and all.
You know, I'll take that L from you, okay, buddy? You trump. You trump me. Come in here trying to be a real dick, and trying to highlight Lummy about something I'm upset about.
No, you got a lot going on. I just wanted to remind you.
No, but you're right. You're right. You probably are ready to. I know you guys are just ready to go. I have to provide said material that I have farmed out, which is coming, by the way. So
sweet.
Point well taken. Thank you for the correction. I think, Lummy, let's all collectively agree that by the end of the show today, we have to talk about these particular 3 elements. The game.
Yep.
Like the game, and like you have to you kind of got to break the game down a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you got to break down the celebrities. Then you got to break down the commercials. I think those are at least the three things you got to try to wade through for this, and so we don't leave any of that like boom. Like this is kind of our Super Bowl reminiscent, the day after the Super Bowl show. So let's not get down some stupid rabbit holes and not cover and have closure on those 3.
Perfect.
Game, celebrities, commercials. Let me. What are the 3?
Game, celebrities, commercials.
Okay.
I cross them off when we do it.
Okay. So let's break the game down, right?
Yep.
I mean, now a lot of people, I was talking to Red earlier, he's like, the first half was a little bit boring. And I would say, yes, boring, admittedly, but still really good football. Good defensive football is if you're really a football enthusiast, you appreciate, you appreciate good defense. And
it was like boxing with a good defensive boxer. You know what I mean? Like watching well,
the 49ers front 4 made the Chiefs look like a bunch of chumps.
Yeah, I got to tell you that if you're just watching the game, you don't know anything. The difference in the game was, you're right, the Bosas, the Young, the defense, the Chiefs offensive line.
All the players that we haven't heard their names because all we hear about is Taylor Swift. This is what I was talking about, Bubba.
Slow, Danny.
Okay.
Danny, slow
down.
Monsters kicking in.
This is what I was talking about. The heroes of the game are unnamed, invisible people because we spent so much time talking about other people.
Dan, Taylor Swift's the best. and I love her.
I don't dislike her.
And so, and you know what? I, as a football enthusiast, was able to get through the game and appreciate the players involved and the coaches and the names. And I was able to follow quite along, not even being that educated of a man, be able to comprehend everybody's the star factor of everybody. And Taylor Swift was not a distraction to me.
Good.
At all.
Good.
And anybody that says that is just a hater. You're just a hater. Because listen, the old girl has got the it factor. She's the literally pop culturally most famous, top 3 most famous people in the world. Mm-hmm. Her brand is worth billions. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, from men my age to girls that are 5, that's like her, potentially like her. Like, you know,
5 to 55.
Yeah, exactly. Very rarely is there any musical person that comes out and appeals 5 to 55. I mean, never.
True.
Never.
True.
Like, you know, like
Michael Jackson did back in the day, but that was rare.
That was probably the last one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree.
Probably the last one was Michael Jackson. And you know, Madonna didn't even have that stat. She was very polarizing. Mm-hmm. Most men didn't really like Madonna. You know, I'm just you liked a little bit of her stuff, but you know, Taylor Swift, man, and now it's not even about her music. It's just more about her swagger of life.
Just media coverage all around.
Yeah, just like she's such a megastar that the story is the megastar. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, Taylor Swift, don't think that they wouldn't have a story, TMZ, if somebody found Taylor Swift's used tampon in housekeeping at her hotel, you know, at the suite that she was in, that wouldn't be a big story. You know, Taylor Swift's tampon. I mean, right? Even the most mundane stuff people would want to know about, right?
Yeah, she is the news.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The news isn't about her. She just is the news.
From her performance in Tokyo to her used tampon in the luxury suite. We want to know it all. She's the biggest brand in the world. And I think it's real. I mean, Roger Goodell. You even saw, Roger Goodell was like, I don't know, thanking her or introducing her or, you know, meeting her for the first time. But Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the league, personally went to her box and met her and probably deep down thanked her for helping. The NFL has benefited. She is basically for free, giving the NFL just a huge
turbo
charge. Oh my God!
And it looks like he was thanking her because it said Goodell said it's great to have Swift be part of the league.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's, you know.
Was it the most viewed game of all time?
I know
there was talk that it might be.
I'd see it. That's another. See, Anna, you just got yourself in trouble. Every question you ask, this is brilliant. This is really going to get in your head. Every question you asked, you should have made a topic and sent to me.
I mean, I just didn't think it would be news if it was like, this might be the most viewed game, and then later on realized it was or wasn't.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that you could literally, you know, that would have required you to prep a little bit early in the morning and not late at night.
I did. That was the problem.
No, but like,
did I prep too early?
That's what I'm saying.
So
you should have gotten up an hour earlier today.
Oh, yes.
Instead of prepping last night, you should have prepped this morning and adjusted your schedule.
You're right.
In my opinion.
No,
because
right.
everything was pretty much clipped up, and everything was pretty much all the videos that are going to be, you know, this morning's news everybody's talking about, they all dropped about 2 and 3 in the morning last night.
Yeah,
is when they all dropped. Because that's how long it takes the national media to cut it all up and to do all that. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like a little bitch, But I happen to be one of the men that think that Taylor Swift's presence at the game, the whole Swiftie mentality, not that you have to like her songs, but just if you're just truly an honest person, you'd have to say that she is a huge star, the biggest global star going, and that even like when she's landing into airports, they make it news, and that's kind of cool for the league. Unless you're like just a big lunkhead and you're like, no man, football's a real man's sport.
See, I was trying to think like a man in that way and not include a bunch of news about her.
Right.
I mean, but that's how rare she is that like most people would think that the average rugged tough dude doesn't really want Taylor Swift at the football game. And I think I disagree with you because I mean, myself, no, the average person.
Oh.
Myself, here I am. I consider myself. I mean, Lummy, you can go to our Bubba Army Facebook page and see me watering a dirt track with a garden hose.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so don't tell me, bitch, that I'm not kind of not necessarily like I can beat you up, but I do rugged man things.
Yeah,
right? Like,
you get outside.
Me and Brian Matroni did completely opposite things this weekend.
Right.
I guarantee you, Brian Matroni wasn't on a grader, wasn't on wasn't on a Harley rake, wasn't on a water truck, wasn't on a disc a tiller, a lily tiller, wasn't driving a sheep's foot, wasn't working a wind machine, street sweeper, wasn't harvesting piles of clay. And then, on top of a dirt mountain watching 900 horsepower USAC non-wing sprint cars run, 13.5 second laps around my his Bryan Raceway Park's 3/8 high banked D-shaped oval. I guarantee you that the most manliest thing that potentially Brian Matroni did this weekend is took out his all electric Ryobi leaf blower and blow off 6 little leaves that were on the patio out back, and then he put it right away, and that's it. He
felt proud.
So don't tell me I'm not a kind of a rugged man. I'm not trying to beat you up, but I do manly things.
Yeah.
They're like, let me. I mean, I probably did more manly things this weekend than you did. I see that you were a great father and took little walk to the monster truck show.
Yeah.
So that's a manly kind of deal.
Sure is.
Dan, did you do anything manly this weekend?
Coached a football game.
Oh, very manly.
Went to a racetrack and go-karted.
Very manly. Very manly.
Ate too much food at a football party.
On brand.
Did you do any manly things this weekend?
Just drank some beer.
But manly.
Manly beer.
Yeah.
Macho, I'm sure that you worked
Yeah, the
out like
champagne beers.
the monkey that you are. I'm sure that you did all kinds of manly things this weekend.
Yes, and mowed the yard.
And that's very manly.
On my skag.
So I'm in the rugged man category, okay? And here's the deal: I like Taylor Swift. I've kind of become a little Taylor Swiftie. Like I'm just like I just find it so cool that Travis Kelce can blast the most popular. And Travis Kelce, he isn't a pretty boy, Lummy.
No,
he's not. He's not a little Justin Bieber, like a little puss boy that most of Hollywood or people like Taylor Swift and stuff go for these puss boys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like Travis Kelce's he's a man.
Yeah.
He's a man.
Yeah, he is.
Like, so, Taylor Swift being Taylor Swift, she might want, maybe back, who are some of her exes? Were they all puss boys?
John Mayer.
Puss boy.
The Jonas Brothers, one of them.
Hold on. Puss boy.
Oh,
hold on.
Harry Styles.
Puss boy.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Yeah.
Oh, Calvin Harris. He's cool. Come on.
Still, though.
Who's Calvin Harris?
You don't know Calvin Harris?
No.
That's okay.
He's
Generational divide.
He's a singer.
No, he's a DJ.
Well,
it's less than a singer.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He's a DJ.
Take that back. Take that back right now.
Dan, he like has like 2 Apple computers and stands on stage and gets people at music at music festivals.
Yeah, and it's worth like $400 million.
That are on Molly. Yeah, but we're not talking about richness. We're talking about ruggedness.
Oh.
And we're talking about everybody we talked about's a puss boy compared to Travis Kelce. Like, she's got herself a man. That is a man's man.
Even
That's
with
like,
his careless whispers.
I mean, Lummy, that's like literally, he's like the brawny paper towel man compared to all of her exes.
Easy.
Like, he's a lumberjack looking big real man.
But don't you
maybe
think-
that's what she's yearned for all this time, for a real man to take her. Like, maybe she likes it, she wants to be kind of dominated a little bit.
Taken.
Sure.
Poor little thing. She's always in charge. Nobody will really set her straight. She wants her man to throw her around the bed a little bit. Get a little chokey with it.
Gonna need a guy that size these days too.
Well, she's got one.
Yep.
I mean, don't think that Travis Kelce couldn't take her pillar to post just all around that hotel room.
Yeah, he's strong.
Yeah.
6'5",
She's a strong guy. What's her numbers?
She's 5'11". She's tall as hell.
$160.
No,
I don't know.
hell no.
She's quite thin.
No, I don't know. She's very thin. Now you want to go $160? That would be
45?
That'd be Alicia Keys during the halftime
I thought
show.
Alicia Keys looked pretty good, actually.
I thought I thought she was pregnant.
She was never skinny. She was never skinny.
Well,
she
then
was
she's
never
always,
skinny.
Then she's always
Interesting.
worn like maybe fat girl makes you look skinny clothes.
Yes.
Because I remember watching her do the one of that. What's that one song that she's noted for?
Fallen.
Yeah.
In and out of love.
Or New York.
with you. Yeah, that's a good one
I
too.
saw her do New York when
With
she,
Jay-Z.
and she was behind a black piano, and I remember her ass and gut being that big.
Well, she sits down behind the piano, which is why you never see
Just
it. She doesn't
saying.
usually get up and
And
start
I don't
dancing.
think that the outfit that she had was the most flattering one they could have picked
Yeah,
for
bright
her.
red doesn't do anyone any favors.
I mean, right?
Oh, I was
Yeah.
expecting to
I mean,
see
they-
someone
they-
else in that outfit.
I mean,
Lizzo?
yeah, I mean, well, no, anybody.
Oh, J-Lo.
I mean, so again, Lummy, that's now we're talking about the commercial aspect.
J-Lo's not black enough for that
the
performance.
halftime performance.
Yeah.
Lummy, that's probably that's the fourth thing we've got to get to today.
Halftime.
Yeah.
I did include that.
Bubba, I understand. You're a rugged guy and you're a Swift fan, but do you really think? But do you really think that the male fans from the other 31 teams in the NFL like her at all? Or resent her and are irritated by her? And that's what my point is.
I think that it almost shows you just how worldly of a man you may be if you accept her into the NFL kingdom and think that it's good for the sport. I think it might show you that you can be a rugged man, but yet be smart enough to realize how good she is for the brand. Like, if you're really pro NFL, I think then you have to say that she's good for the NFL because she's good for the brand. Right? It's not like, hold on. She's not like the Bud Light commercial. She's not like Delvin Mullaney or whatever the hell that is.
No,
right?
she definitely was better for the brand than that.
I kind of understand what Dan is saying because
one killed the brand, and the other one is like the best that the brand could ever have as like an organic evergreen fan and dating one of the brand's premier players. The last time this was a sexy thing was when Victoria Beckham dated was married to David. When David Beckham was one of the hottest soccer players in the world.
The hottest.
The Spice Girls. One of the Spice Girls who at that one time was probably pop
one of the hotter ones.
Right. They got together. That's the last time something like this has happened. And I think this
trumps that.
Is far bigger. They weren't showing Posh Spice's plane flying in from halfway across the country to come see one of David Beckham's soccer matches.
Yeah.
They were doing stuff like that. They were, Bubba. They were doing that at the beginning when they first started dating. They were doing that a little bit. It's not as big to us as this is, but that was huge.
What are the news places cut off the Joel Osteen church shooting to show Taylor Swift landing?
Church?
Yeah, there's church shooting. Joel Osteen, the big church.
Yeah. Yes.
There was a shooting.
There was
yesterday. Yeah.
That shows you how much I have been like, really?
Yeah, it was on Sunday and it was in the morning, and they cut off and showed Taylor Swift landing.
So you're saying that Joel Osteen,
did anyone die?
One of the most powerful spiritual flim-flammy leaders that in our world right now, that's based out of Houston, Texas, and is tries to do this whole flim-flamming spirituality, and kind of a more evangelical Anthony Robbins kind of deal. This whole spiritual shakedown nonsense.
Yeah.
Televangelist, or-
This new era, kind of this new era religion that's not really, we don't really use the word religion more than we use the word faith and spiritual and strength and just all this real catch words. These new era mega churches, and Joel Osteen is at the head of, arguably one of the largest.
Easily.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does.
And he has had a shooting.
Yep, Sunday morning.
And at least one person died.
The lady that went in with the little kid started the shooting. Little kid is in critical condition.
So, that's a pretty big story.
It was a woman?
Yes.
It's a pretty big story.
Plot twist.
Woman walks into church with a kid. Kid's in critical condition. There's a shooting at Joel Osteen's mega church.
Yes.
And that's pretty, if it's
balls
if
to go
you're
in somewhere in Texas.
If you're in Houston, if you're in the hometown of where this is happening, Houston, and this is, the Houston news covering it. This isn't, the New York news, who it's kind of a big deal, but it's pretty geographically far from us. So, the average person that watches our channel can't really pour emotionally into this story. It's just a sad story. But if you live in Houston, and maybe even have a person, or it's such a mega church. I think it fits like 10,000 people.
Oh, it's huge.
His
yeah.
cathedral that he preaches at a couple times a week.
Yes.
Well, so chances are, if you live in the Houston area, you probably know somebody or have a relative or at least somebody that that goes to that church, because it's just such a mega church, right?
Oh, of course.
So Houston News covers this big, huge, mega local story. There's a shooting at that guy's church, but they break away from that, which I can't think of any more tragic and more local, wouldn't break away for nothing news than that, right?
Yep.
They break away from that to say,
Taylor Swift just landed.
we know you find people.
We
know you find people in Houston are riveted right now for the Joel Osteen church shooting, and that your aunt and uncle both go to that church, and we haven't identified the dead yet. But Taylor, hey, hold on, we're throwing it over to Fred. Fred, where are you? I'm in the Las Vegas International Airport, and as you can see, we got Taylor Swift's coming in. Looks like she's about 1,200 feet right now. Landing gears down. Looks like Taylor Swift has made it. She was in a concert last night in Tokyo, and she flew across halfway around the world because she's a zillionaire with I think that might be maybe a Global 650. Yeah, it's about a $40 million plane. Hold on, she's touching down now. Okay, hold on. Looks like they're taxiing onto the runway. And listen, you find people in Houston, don't worry about it. We'll give you the list of the names of the dead here momentarily. Okay, hold on now. It looks like she doesn't want to get out on the tarmac. It looks like they want to maybe take the plane and pull it under like a little hangar or deal, because she's such a mega star that she doesn't even want us that's covering this event live to even see her.
Well, the crazy thing, what they cut through is,
and the more that celebrities don't want you to see them, the more you want to see them, right?
Of course.
The Streisand effect.
Well, it was switching. The news was her switching her planes because she landed in L.A. and her plane was too big to fly into Vegas because they didn't have enough room. That she had to get on her smaller private jet. So they were reporting that.
Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. We're throwing it over to Jim. He's in L.A. and because Jim, hello.
Yes.
I heard that Taylor Swift's landing in L.A. and because her jet is too big to go into Las Vegas, so she has to land in L.A. and get in a smaller jet.
That's right, Bubba.
Rich guy problems.
Taylor took off from Tokyo last night in her 747, and she was afraid that her carbon footprint and the footprint of the plane may be a little too large to make that trip from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. So she switched it out for her smaller 737 Delta 8.
That's her beater Porsche.
I guess beater Porsche.
She switched into her Airbus 380, and so she just to a little bit less carbon of an issue.
It was a Barbarian Global 6000. Bombardier.
Is that what she flew
Say
in?
the first word again?
Is that what she flew in from Tokyo?
No, that's what she flew from LA to Vegas.
Yeah. Her Bombardier is probably, as big as any private jet.
It's probably $100 million plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, Jesus.
she said 25,000 in fuel.
Oh,
no, but how much?
Get there to see her man.
How much did she spend on fuel from Tokyo to LA?
It only has right now that she's upwards of 25,000 to fuel to make the Super Bowl.
Did she have to?
So that's both trips.
No way.
It's only one
No,
way.
you think it was 25,000 in fuel to go from L.A. to Vegas?
Oh, not in just fuel. Not in just.
No,
Not
I'm
in
just,
I thought it was from
just
Tokyo to
fuel.
Vegas.
No. He said. Lummy said the fuel costs from Tokyo to Vegas were $25K. Bubba said that wasn't enough. But I was thinking, like, would you think it was just 25 from L.A. to Vegas? That would be like
No, you're.
10
I
or
think
5,
I think I
right?
was wrong in the fact that I think the 25,000 was probably the all-in from Tokyo price.
Okay.
Now that I think about it,
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
Yeah,
Still
it
a lot
says
of
they use 4,230 gallons
Of jet.
of jet fuel, which is costs about 25,000.
And that's just one way. She had to go to Tokyo too. So
Well, hold on, but that's not even the cost of what the plane. Like I don't know.
hours
I
and
don't know
people.
if she owns her own planes or that she just rents them.
I think she owns one and she rents it out. I think she leases out her plane to share the,
Oh, right. Like does like a part 135 on the deal.
Yeah.
Again, man. Like again, here we find ourselves talking back about Taylor Swift.
It looks like she owns a Falcon 900.
Wow, Jesus.
is that a big one?
I mean, she's
900,
just,
it's not
she's
300.
just, I mean,
I don't know what these numbers mean.
tell me right now. Tell me. And then I got to go into commercials, and then we have to break the game down. Obviously, the Chiefs won last night, 22-19 in overtime.
It was 25-22.
Was it 25-22? It was 25-22.
Yep.
Sorry,
My bad.
didn't mean to
No,
face
you're
you on
right.
sports.
God, you did. I mean,
I'm so sorry. I'm a sports
I'm
chick. now.
just. Oh, it's a pop. I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what I just can't remember what sound effect we were supposed to do on a pop. 25-22, yes. Let's not forget Kansas City beat San Francisco 25-22. I went to bed at 16-16, just over it. I was kind of pulling for the Chiefs, but then Sumo had 2,000 on San Fran, so I was kind of pulling more for San Fran because Sumo had 2,000 on the Niners, and Sumo being up to because Sumo's staying with me, still.
Oh yeah,
and he's still visiting for quite a while. He's doing his. I have to get out of Indiana. Annual 3 to 4 week break because he cannot stand the snow and just Indiana sucks right now. I don't know. They may be going through let me sure I should ask Alexa. Hey Alexa, what is the weather like today in Columbus, Indiana?
Right now in Columbus, Indiana, it's 28 degrees Fahrenheit
There you
with
go.
clear skies. Today's forecast has cloudy skies, with a high of 49 degrees and a low of 28 degrees. One more thing. I have a morning updates routine that will provide you updates on the weather and your deliveries for today.
No.
Do you want to try it?
No. Thank you. So he takes like a lot of January and February and stays 2 or 3 weeks with me. And Sumo was I was watching a game with him. It was me, Sumo, and the Merch Crick.
Nice.
And Sumo was feeling real good. Lummy. Well, just whatever. And feeling real good. Because, I mean, at first, man, you were thinking, man, San Francisco's front four just are killing Patrick Mahomes. We got fumbles, we got this and that. And San Fran looked like, they had Patrick Mahomes scrambled.
Oh yeah.
Like they had him. They were on him. Like I don't know if this is this a
like mud on a pig?
No, I was gonna say like white on rice, but is that like a slur? If I'm a white guy.
I don't know.
If I'm a white guy, I'd be like, man, they were on him like white on rice. Like, I don't know that rice have any rights and that they can get mad. I don't think rice can get mad. I don't think rice. I know what? I don't think rice life matters. I don't think rice life matters.
No.
So you can just, just make fun of rice all you want. And me being a white guy, I think white on rice is acceptable. It's sad that I have to walk through my potential little funny, whatever blurt outs, having to try to justify and insulate what I used to not even care what people thought, right?
Yeah, with the stupid phrase.
And I would just blurt out anything. You don't worry about it. We didn't have to worry about Asian jokes. We didn't have to worry about people that are a little bit slower jokes. We didn't have to worry about anything like that.
It looks like it's not considered a racist term.
It's not?
No.
Thank you. It's sad that I even have to worry about that. Bubba the Love Sponge, what's he worried about now? Getting in trouble for saying white on rice?
No, he did get in trouble for saying "whiz triz ash."
Oh, I know. Can you believe
so
that?
bizarre.
Can you believe that?
No.
If I consider myself trash, hi, I'm Bubba the Love Sponge, and I'm trash. I happen to be white as well. Do you think if you switch it up that way, it might maybe not get you algorithmed out? You flip flopped it, Lummy, because it's all algorithm.
Yeah, they probably switch it just for you. The Bubba rule.
It's almost like when Howard Stern tried to do like Pussy Willow just to say the words.
Said what?
There was a
Pussy Willow.
Right, just so he could say the words.
Right.
Just pushing the envelope.
Pussy cat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. Me and Howard are considered, the two greatest
ever of all time.
I know. Don't tell me what I already know. Okay. Appreciate it.
Just when you thought you knew the real deal, they pulled a fast one and duped your dumbass. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will return after these words.
I don't know the difference between these falcons. I'm not like a falcon, Mark. I'm more of an eagle guy.
Is that really a plane?
Huh?
Is that really a plane?
An eagle?
Yeah.
No, it's just another bird.
Okay. That's why I was like, are you
That's another
fucking
football
me?
team too, like the Falcons and the Eagles.
Oh yes.
This is a 3D chess game.
I like it. Yes.
Okay.
Multi-dimensional joke.
Right,
I appreciate it. I was just like, is there an eagle plane? Because I don't.
I'm more of a Gulfstream guy. I'm more of a bombardier guy.
What did Lummy say?
Oh, I didn't say anything. Yeah, I've been in Orlando on January 30th, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, just like a joke. Not really. Ate a lot of pizza.
Luckily, the guy wears the Wilbur.
6,000 mile range. Almost 7,000. The Desert Falcon 7X. That's probably why they call it 7X. That's 7,000 mile range.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like a fucking big jet. The Falcon 900 has 3 engines. Whew. It's even bigger. French built.
Oh.
Dassault. Aviation with the TV silent.
Where? Bless you.
It's French.
Oh. Just because I'm a French master now because I had French people over my house. Dassault.
Wait, would you say that to you or not?
I don't think so.
Just not highlight it like Dassault.
Like ballet.
Like you end it.
I think.
Interestingly, the 7X has a longer range. Maybe that's why she got rid of the 900. 7X goes further.
It looks like she has 2 Falcons.
Do you think she's pretty?
Who?
I think she's very
Taylor
sharpie
Swift is
features.
pretty. Apparently, a Falcon costs $10 million to $12 million. It'd be more expensive than that.
It said the Falcon 900 costs $44 million.
Here it says 10 to 12.
No, I'm saying the 900.
The 900 it says.
Oh,
Here,
really?
and here says it's 50. I'm seeing all kinds of numbers. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just wondering if you think that if Taylor Swift is pretty.
Sometimes. I thought she was pretty when she was younger. I can't see her eyes.
Wasn't
I
that
can't see her
always
eyes.
the case with every woman?
Not necessarily. She was not like that. It was not pretty when she was younger. Objectively, she's so much prettier in the last 15 years than she was as a kid. Is the girl that does Kelly Ripa, the morning show? Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa.
Way prettier now than she was as a kid. Way prettier.
But that's unusual.
Yeah, she was beautiful at 30 and she was goofy at 20. Look at her on her picture. She had big
No, I
hair.
mean, it's like the style.
It's all of it.
She looks like fucking
She looks
Hillary
horrible
Clinton.
there. Yeah, she looks like Hillary Clinton, and then she looked like hot. She got hot.
I mean, that's pretty good, strong.
This one?
This more than modern picture. Yeah, horrible.
Oh,
She
yeah,
looked like she was slow.
yeah,
Looked like she was like in a,
Or was it? I just.
For a while.
Yeah, that's pretty goofy. But she's a kid. I mean, she's a fucking kid. Just like Christina Applegate almost too. Christina Applegate was like
always
10.
cute. I thought she was always cute.
When she did what was American Children?
Yeah, she was hot in that.
Really hot. Shame. Now she has like MS and she's all fucked up.
Kind of like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox didn't age well.
No, he's got Parkinson's.
Yeah, he's a mess.
He was good looking, but he's always kind of like he was a little guy, right?
Yeah, he's a little fucker.
Little dude.
What's up, Mitch?
She got with what's her husband's name?
Who?
Mark.
Consuelo. Regis Philbin's dead, right?
I think so. He retired.
He died. No, he's dead. He's dead.
Poor Regis.
Poor Regis. He was like 100 when he died. No, he's like 83 or
He was 88.
something.
88.
He was 88 when he died?
Yep.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, it took me a day.
Interestingly, there was no presidential address at the Super Bowl.
I know. We'll talk about that. We can talk about that too. Write that down. Let me know, Write that. I'll write it down. Hold on.
I sent it to him.
Often, like 3 out of every 4.
At the Super Bowl?
They speak for, there's usually like a 10 or 15 minute
He turned
interview.
it down. Trump asked to do it. And they said no.
So the president usually shows up.
No, it's a pre-recorded interview that they just do a little. It's
Oh, I see what you're saying.
well, you saw his commercial. Trump's?
No.
Biden's commercial?
Second part, smaller, like chips. You didn't see that?
No, I must have walked out.
While you're sitting there and enjoying your snacks,
Must have
are you
been
not
trying to
noticing that
decompress a little bit.
Aggressively scarfing out.
Yeah, I was also aggressively going to the bathroom.
You were shitting too?
Well, as soon as I got home, I left the
All day, every day. I'm an FT. Full tractor effect. You're my savior.
I listen to it in the morning and at night. It keeps me awake all night driving that big rig down the road.
Bubba the Love Sponge. We love you, brother.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
It's your Super Bowl breakdown show on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. We will navigate through the Super Bowl waters together because Anna didn't give us but one article.
I'm sorry.
So that's led to some great conversation. Let me just where we're all going to pitch in, roll our sleeves up, and try to help the little thing, poor little thing. So as we break the game down, how many Super Bowls have gone to overtime? Do we have a statistic on that as we break the game down? I guess we're going to probably get down a few rabbit holes within the game, but statistically, or should I ask Alexa?
It's 2.
Well, hey, Alexa,
one
how many Super Bowls have ended up in overtime?
The Super Bowl will end on February 12, 2024
Helpful.
at 7:30 a.m.
Whatever. Let me bing.
2. This was the second one.
When was the last one?
It was New England versus Atlanta, right? 56.
No, hold on. There was not a Super Bowl in 1956.
No, Super Bowl 56.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying 1957, like the first Super Bowl was the
2 years
Packers.
ago?
Does anybody? No. I'm sure. I mean, you can do the math real quickly and figure out what the first year of the Super Bowl was. But I think everybody.
I don't know. Well, it was Super Bowl 56 2 years ago, is what I asked, right? Because it's 58.
It's 58 now.
Yeah, so it was 2 years ago. I didn't realize that.
No, it was this article's wrong, but it was the other Super Bowl was the Falcons and the Patriots was the other game that went to. It was the only
so
game.
it was. Hold on. So Super Bowl what?
I got to look it up. I got to look up that game.
And the game was the Falcons and the who?
Patriots. Super Bowl 51.
Super Bowl 51.
Yes.
Didn't the Packers go to Super Bowl 50? What was Super Bowl? When did the Packers win? They beat the Steelers in like 2011. I think that's their last Super Bowl.
With Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, with Aaron. Where they won one with Bart Starr, Super Bowl 1 and 2, and then Brett Favre in New Orleans against the Patriots, and I think maybe Super Bowl 31, or something. I don't remember. Let me see. And
45 Packers versus Steelers, 31-25.
Okay, so they've won Super Bowl. The Packers have won Super Bowl 1, 2. What was that one? 45.
45.
And what was the one with Favre and the Patriots? Like 99, 2000, 01. What was that?
I'm looking for it.
Hey Alexa, what Super Bowl was Packers versus Patriots?
31.
That's why I said 31 earlier, bitch.
97. The Packers beat the Patriots 35-21.
Yeah, Super Bowl 31.
Yeah, 1996.
So the Packers have been to Super Bowl 1, 2, 31, and 45. Right?
Yes.
Right. Did you see where, like, if you go back and look at like NFL films or anything, the first 2 Super Bowls didn't even sell out, and tickets were like $9.
Can you imagine how it's grown like that?
Yeah. So it was at the I think it was a Pasadena. I think
Los
it was
Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
For both?
And then the second one was at the Orange Bowl, Miami.
Yeah. So, and neither one of them sold out. Packers won both of them. One against the Raiders and one against the Chiefs. Yeah, so Chiefs were isn't that something? The Chiefs
First Super Bowl.
Yeah, first Super Bowl. And then they went on to win the 3rd Super Bowl or something with Lynn Dawson. How many Super Bowls have the Chiefs won? Packers
7.
The Chiefs won the 4th one against the Vikings.
Yeah, Viking. I think the Vikings might have been in like 100 Super Bowls and they've never won any of them.
Really?
Yeah, the Vikings.
That's sad.
The Vikings have been, I think, in 4 Super Bowls and haven't won. I think they're 0-4.
And I think the Buffalo Bills are at least 3.
No, maybe 5 on them. I
think the Bills are 4-2. The
Yeah.
Vikings look like they're 4-2.
Yeah, Vikings and the Bills have both been to the Super Bowl 4 times and never won. Man, I'd be like, damn. Because you know how hard it is to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody win one.
Yeah.
Well, let me see the Vikings, the Lions. Did the Vikings go on to win a Super Bowl ever?
No.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of all the teams that have never won a Super Bowl.
But the Lions haven't even been to a Super Bowl, right?
No, right.
That's worse, obviously.
Hey, Alexa, how many teams have not won the Super Bowl?
12.
4 of them have never even reached the big game.
Damn, I missed her.
It was 12.
But I wanted her to say it. I didn't have the button up.
Sorry.
Damn it, Bubba, you fat
Sorry,
ass.
Bubba.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We're making a mistake. Hey, Alexa, how many NFL teams have not made the Super Bowl?
I know about 32 NFL football teams.
That's nice.
Good job,
She
Alexa.
knows about.
Hey,
What about
Alexa,
precisely?
How many teams have not won the Super Bowl? Gotta shorten it up for her.
Nice.
There are 12 NFL teams that have never won the Super Bowl. 4 of them have never even reached the big game.
There you
Well,
go.
can you break them down for me?
She doesn't tell you.
Lummy, you got to break it down.
To break down who hasn't actually made it there?
No, yeah, well, like
Well, I mean, here's the teams that have not won the Super Bowl.
Answer the question the way she formed it. 1, the 12 teams that have not made it, and then 2, the 4 teams that haven't even made the game.
All right, the teams that have made the Super Bowl but not have won: the Arizona Cardinals,
Right?
the Atlanta Falcons.
But how many times? Just once?
Yeah, that's about my site doesn't tell me how many times they've been there.
Okay.
But the Atlanta Falcons, the Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans.
Hold on. Detroit Lions have never made it to the Super Bowl.
Yes, and they have also not won one.
Well, you
gotta make it to win it.
Wait.
Hold on.
I thought we were just doing that have never been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the teams without a Super Bowl win.
I know, but
No.
you put it.
It's okay.
Lummy,
I'll do
did you not understand? I wanted you to, I wanted you to give me the 12.
I was doing that.
Then pause.
Okay.
And then say, and here are the 4 that have never even made it to the game.
Okay, sorry. My site doesn't have that, so I will read it that way then. The Arizona Cardinals.
Slow down now. Tell us what you're doing here.
The
bud.
teams without a Super Bowl win.
I know a lot of times you think I'm getting on you, but I'm making you better.
I know, thank
okay,
you.
This is just I'm coaching you up right now. Okay.
These are the 12
Hey,
teams. Yes, sir.
what am I doing?
You're coaching me up. Thank
Okay,
you.
here we
Make
go,
me
here we
better.
go. All right, thank you. Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
I'm going to list the teams
Go
that
ahead.
have.
This is hey co-host.
Yes, sir.
Who is supposed to know everything about sports? Tell me how many teams have not made the Super Bowl, and then give me the have not won the Super Bowl but made it the game, and then I'd like to have another report of 4 teams that have never even been to the big game at all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ready? Go.
The Arizona Cardinals have never won a Super Bowl. They have been there. Atlanta Falcons have never won a Super Bowl.
You don't have to say the last part.
Okay.
We know
Buffalo Bills,
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, and they have never been to the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions, who have never been to the Super Bowl. The Houston Texans, who have never been to the Super Bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who have never been to the Super Bowl. And the Los Angeles Chargers have been, but not won, and the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. So the 4 teams that have never been to the actual Super Bowl is the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Very good book report.
Thank you, sir.
Nice.
Good pickup. I threw it over to you. You had it.
Yes, sir.
But we had to coach it out of you, though.
Yes, you did.
It just didn't come organically now, did it?
No, it did not.
It did
Took
not.
to the second half.
Jump. That was awesome.
And so I got to tell you, man, the first half was pretty non-eventful.
What'd you think of Romo?
I don't like Romo.
I'm not a big fan of him. He's not bad, but he's not great.
I don't know of course, I prefer Aikman. That's my guy. I like Aikman
and Buck
and Joe Buck. Like, that's my guy. Those are my guys. I don't mind Tirico and Collinsworth. I think I kind of like them. Not nearly like Buck Aikman.
Oh, no.
I cannot take whoever
Greg
and Greg Olson. I cannot take that. That's what's going to be Tom Brady next year, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Now, who are they pairing him with?
Kevin Burkhardt, the guy who does with Olsen currently.
I like that guy, I think.
He's okay, but honestly, if that's Fox's one team, like, it just feels like pickings are thin when it comes to good commentary teams in the NFL. I don't like a lot of them.
I like Al Michaels and Herb Street.
I like Chris Myers and whoever they pair him up with, but he's barely on TV anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of Brent Busterburgering himself. He's kind of getting old. You know what I'm saying?
He's doing NASCAR a little more, too. Once NASCAR season picks up, that takes up a lot of his time.
Who, Berman?
No, Chris Myers.
Oh, Chris Myers, yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about Berman.
Oh, Berman's only on there for
Berman's
5
once a week.
minutes.
I mean, Berman, yeah, they just prop him up just because, you can't ever, ESPN can't ever fire Chris Berman. Honestly, God, he
started it.
Very rarely in media do you have such a personality that's was there from day one with the network that is virtually he will be employed by your company till the day he dies.
It's like Wolf Blitzer for CNN.
No, that's not even.
He was under the bed in Baghdad when they were bombing Baghdad, and they gave him a lifetime employment afterwards.
But the talent level isn't there.
No, I agree.
It's just Chris Berman is just, oh my God,
he's a god.
He's a god.
He is.
And then but didn't you guys get a chance to watch the Brent Musburger thing?
No.
What?
I forget. I was streaming it. I was and on the NFL Network or something like that, Lummy, and they had this thing about a big Brent Musburger tribute and how he was the original OG of when CBS had the NFL Sunday, when CBS was the network before Fox, and you remember it would be infamous. You are looking live at sold out Lambeau Field, and then it was him, Jimmy the Greek, Jane Kennedy, and Irv Cross, I think it was. And then this documentary got into the fact that Jane Kennedy was African American, and they felt as if she got squeezed out, and they brought in that Phyllis George, who was that ended up being, she was just like this Miss America or like this beauty queen, and then she ended up marrying some real rich dude who ended up being the governor of Kentucky. Is somebody farting?
No. Do you hear it or do you smell it?
No, can't you hear that? It was like a little
squeak.
Somebody's squeaky.
Maybe it's a chair.
So I would being a sports enthusiast. Dan, I don't know if you were into NFL football back when you were a kid.
I liked it,
but not like I don't know about like me and Lummy. Like we were really into it.
Well, the problem too in Tampa for us, Bubba, we never got the games on TV.
Yeah, we get like a Dolphin game every now and then.
Yeah.
We were
when did
jobbers.
the Bucks? When was their inception?
We were the Bears where I lived, man. It was Bear country, and it was even before Indianapolis before Baltimore, the Colts moved to Indianapolis. So it was just we were Bear territory. So we would watch the CBS pregame with Irv Cross, Jimmy the Greek, Brent Musburger, and Jane Kennedy or Phyllis George, and it would be like that would be the only pregame there was available. That's it. only CBS, the station that carried the game, had a big breakdown. Then they got into. Remember when Jimmy the Greek said some disparaging things about African American people?
Oh dear.
And he was talking. He was at a cocktail party and he was all juiced up.
Oh no.
Yeah, and
he said some things he didn't mean.
Oh my God! I think we could play it. I think we could play it under. No, I probably don't think I can play it. Yeah, I can play it. I can play it as part of a news story because it aired on CBS's maybe Paramount Plus yesterday, and it was all about the 70s Brent Musburger pregame show, and then it went on to show how powerful Brent Musburger got, and he would literally announce the World Series, he would announce the NCAA football finals, he would he called the infamous Doug Flutie, remember the infamous Doug Flutie Orange Bowl pass?
Oh yeah.
Who
could forget?
He called that. He did NBA. He did it all, and then it got to be where they felt as if they were he was getting a little bit old, and they wanted to infuse some newer people, and so CBS let him go. His final call was like the NCAA championship game when UNLV played
in 2017.
It was a blowout, and then within a week he had a deal with ABC, Brent Musburger, to do college football.
Yeah, he did.
And so, but he was the original OG Chris Berman. Was Brent Musburger.
I sent you the Jimmy the Greek why he got fired if you didn't want to play it.
Yeah. So Jimmy the Greek, he was the guy that was the oh yes, and it's hold on here. And this is a news story. So Jimmy the Greek, Dan, they had Brent Musburger, who was the main dude, and then they had Irv Cross, who he was an African American guy, and he was a former linebacker in the league. So that was your former player.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you had the pretty girl, and initially the African-American girl, Jane Kennedy. And then she got replaced by, a beauty queen and ended up being the first lady of Kentucky, Phyllis George. Oh. And then they had this predictor guy who was Jimmy the Greek. He was, he was like this, he was the who's gonna win. He was that guy. He was
a
guy.
Vegas bookmaker.
Yeah,
right. That's why they call him Jimmy the Greek.
And then kind of gave you kind of a slimy, New York, mobster, kind of hipster, got a bookie. Like he kind of felt like he'd be a bookie, so he would know all the inside stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they really made Jimmy the Greek like a huge star. Mm-hmm. Like he was a huge star. And somebody caught him at a cocktail party or something. He was half popped. That's what Brent Musburger said in the story yesterday, Lummy. Because listen, highly recommend you and Rhett watching that.
It's on the NFL Network.
Yeah, it's called the Brent Musburger story or whatever. Maybe somebody will pirate it soon. You'll find it.
Perfect.
It was yesterday, and it was so good. It was so good. Well, so Dan, some reporter walks up and says to Jimmy the Greek, why do you Jimmy the Greek, I think, just maybe offers his opinion as to why he feels African-American athletes are superior to others.
Oh.
And he gives his opinion. And it ends up CBS fires him for it.
Yikes.
Fires him.
Reporter from WRC-TV.
Again, Lummy, we're not co-signing with Jimmy the Greek's philosophy.
Nope.
We're just playing the news story of when Jimmy the Greek got fired.
Yep.
Okay?
He was asking questions about Martin Luther King's birthday and the progress blacks have made in society. There, CBS sports commentator Jimmy the Greek Snyder gave his impressions of blacks in coaching in the National Football League. His answers could raise as much controversy as the statements by former Dodgers executive Al Campanis last April on ABC's Nightline news program.
I don't even know what Al Capano said. Do you let me?
No, I do not.
No, it makes me want to know that.
Pretty soon they're going to have to equalize it for the blacks, for the Greeks, the Jews, and for everybody. I mean, let's make it equal for everybody,
And is it equal? What about in sports?
Well, they've got everything. If they take over coaching like everybody wants them to, there's not going to be anything left for the white people. I mean, all the players are black. I mean, the only thing that the whites control is the coaching jobs. Now, I'm not being derogatory about it, but that's all that's left for them. The black talent is beautiful. It's great. It's out there. So the only thing left for the whites is a couple coaching jobs.
Yeah, maybe we need to get more black coaches, don't you?
Oh, it's all right with me.
Okay, well,
I'm sure that they'll take over that pretty soon, too.
WRC.
Now,
Is that really that?
No, hold on. So but there's another part of it too.
Oh, because I was like, that wasn't.
Lummy, will you
see
give
if I
me?
can find-
See if
yeah.
it's- I
That's
don't
not the part.
No.
He was apparently
okay.
flooded with complaint calls after the
Well, I
Snyder.
mean, that's pretty. That's not cool. That's not what he said's not cool. But it's,
I thought it was gonna be way
no,
worse.
no, hold on. The part that got him fired, I don't think was that. I don't think that was part of the conversation that got Jimmy the Greek fired.
Were aired. Snyder issued an apology saying he was truly sorry for anything he said. CBS spokesperson said no decision has been made as to whether Snyder will work Sunday's NFL Today broadcast. Snyder is spending the night with Gene Upshaw, the Players Union executive director in Washington, and he has received support calls from Walter Payton and Ahmad Rashad.
All right, so
Sorry, what year was that?
1988.
Okay.
I'm trying
to find the actual, but I have because I see what he said about the slave.
The story from Jackie Jones.
Within 24 hours of having made the inflammatory remarks, Snyder was fired.
CBS Sports today ended its relationship with Jimmy the Greek Snyder.
The popular betting man sportscaster got himself into trouble during a lunchtime interview about the significance of Martin Luther King's birthday. He said that blacks were bred to be superior athletes.
The slave owner would breed his big black to his big woman so that he could have a big black kid, see?
And Snyder said that's why blacks excel over whites in sports.
The black is a better athlete to begin with because he's been bred to be that way, because of his high thighs and big thighs that goes up into his back.
Snyder went on, saying there's not much room left for, quote, the white guys in sports, except for a couple of coaching jobs. His dismissal seemed inevitable, given the widespread coverage and criticism.
I think his remarks fall into two categories.
Let's see what John Jacobs said.
Category one is that they were racist. And category two, they were stupid.
Civil rights.
I mean, but honestly, is it true? You know who also said that and kind of got some flack for it was Michael Johnson, the sprinter. Remember he was asked?
Isn't he African American?
Yeah, he was the fastest man on the planet. They're like, how are you so fast? He's like, well, my
from Jamaica,
ancestry.
right?
And he's like, they're kind of bred to be fast.
American.
Leader and presidential candidate Jesse Jackson placed a call to Snyder today, seemed to accept his apology with qualification.
Now, see, hold on now. If Jesse Jackson said it's okay and he forgives him, then Jesse Jackson was the man, right? I mean, like what he said goes. Be like, man, I'm mad at Jimmy the Greek, but I saw Jesse Jackson on TV said we're supposed to forgive him, so I'm gonna be okay with him now.
Les Carpenter, $100 cash out.
Oh, wow, that nice.
Who stepped on this racial landmine first, Jimmy the Greek or Howard Cosell?
I don't know. I think Jimmy the Greek.
And Cosell was later.
Yeah.
Should not be marred by one error, but it's an error that must be addressed.
Even former colleague Brent Musburger found Snyder's public comments astonishing.
I don't think the network was left with any choice in the matter. I don't think the network fired him. I think he fired himself.
Okay, that's good. We're good.
I sent you a brief video. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but Michael Johnson says that slave descendants make better athletes, saying essentially the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it comes from the perspective of
understood, but it's the same message.
I mean, it seems as though the rules state that if you're African American, you can say anything you want about African Americans. Now, I'm a white guy, and I can't say everything I want about white people, but I wish I could. I can't even call myself white Triz.
Nope.
That literally, if I say, hey, I'm Bubba the Love Sponge, and I come from the finest strain of Indiana white Triz, I can't say that last name, that last word, Triz. You all know what it is. You all know what it is.
It's Triz.
But I can't say it. Because as soon as I say that, the algorithm picks it up. The algorithm might even pick up Triz now, for all I know.
They changed it.
Four-time Olympic gold medalist sprinter Michael Johnson has been quoted as saying he believes slave descendants make superior athletes and that such a controversial topic shouldn't be avoided but discussed openly as the world begins to...
Yeah, let's talk about it objectively and you know, in a smart way.
I get frustrated, Bubba, when you try to have an interesting conversation and it's shut down with just a label. It's racist. It's misogynist. It's
you can't even break it.
Anti-Semitic.
You can't even break anything down intellectually.
No, because the people that are don't want to be offended have a couple buzzwords, and as soon as they throw them out, you're like, oh, okay, I can't say nothing.
I believe I became an athlete through my own determination, but it is impossible to think that being descendant.
Now, mind you, these are the words of Michael Johnson, who was
the fastest man alive at one time.
A U.S. Olympiad.
Yep.
Multiple gold medals.
Four-time gold medalist.
Fastest person on the planet.
And he's talking about athletes.
Yep.
From slaves hasn't left an imprint through the generations. He is quoted as saying in an article in the British newspaper The Daily Mail, difficult as it was to hear slavery has benefited descendants like me, I believe there is a superior athletic gene in us.
Yeah, sorry, the video was kind of lame, but those were his statements.
Yeah, that's what that's what Michael Johnson says. It's not a big deal. Everybody chill out a little bit. Anyway, early on, Kansas City should be embarrassed of their offensive and defensive line play because this game, clear up until it was 16-16, the reason why the 49ers were getting that ass, and I felt as if it should have been like the 49ers should be up at 7 more than that. Mm-hmm. It just felt like, when it was 10-3, it felt like it should be 17-3.
Yeah. They seem to be completely dominating the first half.
The offensive line for 49ers like Prudy was basically untouched. And Patrick Mahomes was running for his life.
Sure was.
Right. And McCaffrey, which is white as white can be, was one of the best athletes on the field.
Okay, I wasn't going to necessarily bring that up.
Slaves?
Appreciate it.
Nope. Well, Irish slaves, maybe.
Okay, Dan,
Slavic slaves.
Back it down, Slavic boy.
Okay.
What?
Purdy, given time, across the middle, he's got McCaffrey.
I mean, just a dinking and a dunking.
Yep.
It was great.
He played so hard. He was if San Francisco had won the game, McCaffrey probably would have been the MVP.
I think they should have been a little bit more open-minded had 49ers won the game and given it to either Bosa or Young. With the reason why they won that ball game was because of the pressure they put Mahomes under.
I mean, the wide receiver throwing a touchdown was pretty cool.
He had two
touchdowns. He threw for one of them.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sure the odds to get him to win MVP was like plus 15,000.
Probably. And I mean, so anyway, let me go to words because we're running a little bit late, and then let me look at the highlights and maybe go. Write down some ones. Pick out some good ones so it doesn't take so long, okay?
Sounds good.
We'll do that next. Thanks.
He's the self-proclaimed master marketer of the decade.
You hook up with me, boom, all of a sudden you got people wanting you.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
So 42 is a fumble.
So whatever happened to that Greek guy?
No, he vanished.
He just died.
Eventually just died.
Thank you.
Do you have any Tums?
I should have some.
Just dealing with a mix of pizza,
Where's my
wings,
TT?
barbecue, pork. Did I eat my protein for you?
I don't know.
Thank you, Cece. If you call my office, 888-8-YAKOS, you can help your grandmother or your mom.
But we gotta do parody too.
Yeah.
It's full pink right there. Dan can't drive.
All right.
Who made it?
Who do you think?
DMS. I don't think we got that far.
The boy feels cat.
Cersei's, you're right. Jokes the cat. Good morning. Tebow didn't have a great game either. Samuels.
No, I think it's Tebow.
No, Tebow.
Yeah. He got hurt. He like kept pretty good.
His hamstring or something like that, yeah.
It's like Tebow, is that right? Did he go comeback?
Yeah, he was doing Dunkin' Donut commercial with Tom Brady. Stupidest fucking commercial.
Yeah, your girl was on there though.
Yeah, I know. She eats too many donuts.
What do you like, Schwagers?
And I'm not a big Ben Affleck guy.
No?
Just want to smack him. No, it's just because he's a douchebag.
In Boston.
You take a Rolaids before an Ambien, it doesn't work? An Ambien.
Oh shit, that's funny though.
Alright, put the Rolaids fucking away and
So they were
not
godsend.
fucking talk about
They were godsend.
stupid shit.
I'm not talking about shit. I just
Squirreling further.
I'm not squirreling anything, dude. I just said nothing about nothing. Oh, nothing about nothing. I'm gonna keep my chin down. Try not to get shot.
You're in the foxhole. You're digging yourself a hole inside the foxhole.
Yeah, I'm digging.
You're digging a second. You're digging.
I'm digging a foxhole inside my foxhole.
That shit was hilarious, dude.
What do you do like with your box? Like, they sell the box like that at other events. If you don't take it, it was closed. I know it's in there. I just didn't know.
Bitch is insane. She's writing little notes about every fucking
Okay,
thing.
did they sell it?
We said no, and then they didn't sell it.
Okay. I didn't know if like.
So yesterday?
Sorry. Because we said we're gonna normally sit for that, and then just to see. I looked up real quick. It was closed, like blacked outside.
I remember being asked about it like 6 weeks ago. I'm like, no thanks.
I wonder if they even.
We get an email like, who wants to go to, you know.
I gotcha. Thank you, Melissa Carpenter.
Oh.
I'm sure we'll buy the box for the Reba McEntire concert.
There's a lot of country ones coming in.
Sure there are.
The Raymond.
You don't like country music, do you?
Oh.
That's
You like steak? Okay. Yeah, make the same face.
Yeah. I didn't know. I know Jay fucking likes. Or no, he doesn't. He does it for
What was that piece of meat that they gave you that you weren't expecting?
Eel.
Eel?
Eel.
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 Yeah, that was with Jennifer. Good thing she was there. Otherwise, I would have fucking absolutely lost my shit. So I was trying to be cool in front of her, but tables were flipped.
It's like eating the devil.
I was so fucking mad, dude. I still think about that from time to time. I get so mad.
You never eat like octopus with like the sauce.
No. Fuck no. And it's also just like not cooked.
I'm here for the sponge.
Mate, it's all about mate.
It's got to be Bubba. I laugh so hard.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
So let me, as I've been working my ass off at the track, we are in the middle of the USAC Winter National portion of my Bubba Raceway Park, Ocala Speedway. We had a Friday, Saturday show last week, which required me to get there on I got there on Wednesday just to get the track prep is so key to these guys. And so
has the weather been cooperative?
Oh, the weather's been so cooperative that it's been a problem. And the fact that when you own a dirt track and you have the big 900 horsepower, sprint cars that are sideways, creating all kinds of wheel spin, potentially, rubbering over your track, which with dirt track prep, rubbering up your track taking rubber, or what they call rubbering up, is like the kid touching of dirt tracks.
Because there's only one line, there's no passing, it's a problem.
It just sucks. It's hard on tires.
Oh, really? It's hard on the tires too?
Oh, yeah. It's the tire blowout. It's one lane. It's not good racing. It sucks.
How much does tires cost?
A right rear for a sprint car, I think $320. Yeah, it's like $1,200, and a lot of times, you go through your right and your left. You might go through multiple rights and lefts at tracks based on how much moisture. I like to keep
in a night.
Yeah.
In one night.
Yeah. No, I had my track prepared so well that they were able to use the same left and the same right all night long for hot laps, for qualifying, for heat race, and for the A main. They used the same tire, and racers love that. So the racing was great, but in order for that to happen, Lummy, I have a guy. You remember, he's the guy that taught me how to drive, to operate the grader when I first bought the track. He lives in Live Oak. His name's David Markham. I call him Honky Tonk.
Yeah.
And he for the first 3 or 4 or 5 years of my track's existence, he was my main prep guy. But then he went on to start his own business, and he had to teach me how to do it. So then I did it for years, and I had the help of Elwood that used to help me, remember?
Yeah.
And then for the last, since Elwood has died, I've had to do all the track prep with just me and One-Eyed Billy and Drunk Dave. We never had a grader guy. I had to be the grader guy. And so this particular Winter Nationals, I'm like, listen, I'm a good grader guy. I'm pretty good. But nobody is better than David Markham. Let's see if I can. So, Lummy, I got a hold of Giant Recreation World.
Yeah.
Because in order for Markham to really be able to prepare the track, he has to be there every day, from sun up to sundown.
Really?
You're kneading that track. It's almost like you're just, kneading a ball of dough, and if you can't let it get too wet, you can't let it get too dry,
or too hot, or too cold,
or too hot or too cold. You're constantly kneading a ball of pizza dough just to always maintain the right texture, so that when you spread it out, it's perfect. And so I got an RV from Giant Recreation World. Thank you guys, thank you Tom. They dropped it all off.
Nice.
Because I couldn't really afford to put them up in hotel rooms now are in Ocala. Hotel rooms even in crap ass Ocala are $175, $200 a night.
Really?
And they're not that close to your track, are they?
Really? No, they're real close. They're like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you really can't house a guy for a month. So Giant Recreation World, that's what they do, man. They do rentals, and they come and set them all up for you and everything like that. So I got Giant Recreation World to do that. Then I got a hold of my Bob and Kevin and George, my fine Sunbelt guys.
Oh, yeah.
Because I needed, I need that much more equipment to be able to readily get stuff available. I own 2 water trucks and a grader. And so I have in a sheep's foot, but Sunbelt, Lummy, they lend me my skid steer. Listen to the equipment I have to get from Sunbelt just to pull off the Winter Nationals. Skid steer, tractor with at least a 50 PTO, rock rake, Harley rake, high reach, and a lull.
Whoa!
All of that,
and they drop it all off for you?
Yeah, drop it all off. just again, God, I could not do this without Bob and Kevin and George and Will. Thank you so much, Sunbelt Rental. I could not host the Winter Nationals that I have at my track if I didn't have Sunbelt Rental.
Awesome.
They're just like the best. Thank you so much for all that you do, guys. Bob, Kevin, George, Will. Here's the game, Lummy. I probably only be able to break down about half of it because in order for me I have to watch it and then write down the time and a brief description on what we're fixing to watch. And that takes a little bit of a time.
Yeah.
I don't have a crack. I don't have a staff of Howard Stern that would have all this racked up ready to go. We're all working our ass off to be able to pull off this beautiful show. Thank you. Let me see. It seems real slow today, Lummy.
It does. Only Melissa Carpenter so far.
Oh, hold on. So it's 8 o'clock and we've only had one EPO?
Or unless you've seen a PayPal yet.
No, I had Bob Cook from the last day we did our show is my last little PayPal, and that they have taken away my Venmo.
I know. Nothing from them at all?
No, here's the thing. I don't have the time because today we got to do a show, then we have to do an after show, right?
Yep.
And I got company in town. And so I have to literally get on the phone with Venmo, and I don't know what I'm going to have to do, but I'm actually going to have to get on the phone with them and be like, hey, listen, here's my account information, what do I got to do? I mean, do you think there's a chance they're going to say, well, you just can't? Remember Zelle did that to me. Zelle said, no, you can't have a Zelle because it's one way. You get money.
But at least money wasn't stuck like it is with Venmo. Like you can't get the money out of the account that's currently in there, right?
But it's not the 215 that's in the account that's got me really freaked
No, I know,
out.
but that's annoying that they're holding your money.
No, very much. But the bigger issue is, the ability to maybe not be able to take it. Like, Venmo is a major portion of our...
Even the boomers use Venmo.
Yeah.
Like my dad uses Venmo.
Right. When you're taking that away from me, man, you're really tying my monetary hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not fair.
Jesus, Venmo. And like, it's not like we're funding Hamas or anything.
Nope.
We are
if
not.
you were, you wouldn't be messed with.
And I wouldn't be working for you.
Well, exactly. Listen, we got
two Jews on staff.
We just take money in. We don't very rarely give it out. With the perfect business model. And you're screwing it up, Venmo, son of a bitches.
Thanks a lot.
Our Venmo used to be at the Bubba Army, just like our PayPal and our Cash App. Can we step it up a little bit? You're freaking with my head.
Please.
God bless.
So let me. Here's the game. Here's at least maybe up till a certain point. Then we'll break because I'm a little bit late, but kind of on time.
Not too bad.
You are.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, I sent you a video of it's like 5 minutes of all kind of that tie.
So you think it'd be better?
Highlights.
You think it'd be better than? Do you think it would be better than what I'm working on right now?
I think it's going to be mostly the same highlights because I kind of skimmed through it quickly. Had the fumble, the interception, sacks.
So you're saying
touchdowns.
Just abandon mine and potentially go with yours?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
It looks like it's all the big time highlights.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. So we could get through this in 5 minutes, and then I could just get rid of that right there that I'm working on.
Yeah, and then we'd be done with number one.
I'm gonna keep that in play just in case yours suck.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Confidence.
Are you saying that's highly likely?
No, I don't think so. I think Lummy probably nails it.
He's just putting a seatbelt on.
Here we go.
McCaffrey's touched it on 3 of the first 4 plays. All for good yardage. They go back to him again. Ball is
Lummy. Yeah. Lummy, I had on my first set of notes, McCaffrey fumble.
Yeah, that was a big play.
There you go, Lum.
on the ground. The ball is out. Karlaftis is there.
And at this point, man, you're thinking, man, Chiefs are on it. If you can get arguably one of the best running backs in the league to, who's just an absolute threat at all times, and historically not a known fumbler, to fumble in the red zone.
Yeah, first quarter.
First possession when they're driving like a mug. Hell yeah, KC. Go Chiefs.
There for Kansas City.
Have you seen McCaffrey's hot-ass girlfriend?
Oh, Copel?
She's yes.
Olivia
Copel.
She was Miss Universe, I thought.
Yeah, she's Miss. She's
Miss Clem?
She's Miss. Oh my God,
She is stunning.
Don't let Dan see her.
The first signal is a chief recovery.
You don't know Olivia Culp?
Well, the ball's definitely out.
They send it to me, but I'm not going to show Dan necessarily right this very minute.
Okay.
Karloftis does come up with it. This would be the long.
All right, let me. So the next thing I did right out. God bless. You know what? Let me. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do to show
Say
you.
your Instagram.
Just to show you how much I believe in you.
Yes, sir.
Look at this. I X that out.
Oh,
That's how
thank
much
you.
I believe in you.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
God, I really believe in you.
Faith,
sir.
Trust.
God bless.
Beautiful.
Here is oh, that's not it. I needed to pull up Anna Hummel's. I pulled up Lummy. So sorry. Anna has
That's okay.
Anna has the Instagram of
Olivia Culpo.
the super hot chick that is engaged.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
She's engaged to
fiance.
to
McCaffrey.
was it what's his first name?
Christian
McCaffrey, formerly
Wow, she's
hold on.
pretty.
Formerly, that's not her kid.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
Even better.
Formerly from the Panthers.
Yes.
And a Stanford grad. Correct.
Yes.
And this
See,
is
he's
his,
smart.
This is his fiance.
Oh, a very special something. I'm going to give you a hint. Super Bowl.
Oh, she surprised her.
Oh,
his
yeah.
mom or
I mean,
something.
is she not?
She's stunning.
Yeah, she's.
She is.
Queen.
Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah.
See, I'd way
I
rather
mean,
be in
look-
his position than in Kelsey's position.
I don't know. I mean,
Dude, this girl's hot. She's gonna be
She
hot
is.
for another 30 years.
okay. Do you want to be with the hottest chick, or do you want to be with the
Richest?
the richest chick?
I
Richest
with, I don't know. I'd rather be.
Dan,
I'd
hold
rather
on.
be with this one.
Hold on. Would you rather be with the hottest chick who's hot, or would you rather be with the richest chick who's not as hot but is pretty hot?
I'd rather be with this one,
All right.
especially since he's got his own money.
You guys are.
It's not Taylor Swift money, but still, he's making millions of dollars.
I understand.
And I'm sure
but-
she makes,
Yeah,
she's made a few
pretty penny.
million. I'd way rather be with that than the girl whose eyes you can't even see. At least this girl's you can see her
All right,
eyes.
just would you again? Can you
Bring back the bangs.
Dan,
What?
can you just knock it down a notch? The
No,
hate,
this
the
girl's-
hate.
I'm not hating. I'm
You- no,
loving
you-
on
you-
this. I'm not
you're-
hating.
The starting point of life is hate for you.
No, it's
buddy.
not. I adore this girl. And I wasn't hating on Alicia Keys like you guys were.
Alicia Keys, holy, is she pregnant?
Yeah.
Get ready with me to watch Christian's game. I am using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Foundation. If you guys have followed me for a while.
So that's Christian
can speak.
McCaffrey's
Nice.
fiance. He
She
fumbled.
can speak.
He fumbled. Let me. Where it's 0-0. KC gets on the. I'm sorry. San Francisco gets on the board first. I don't think I got a couple 3 and outs and whatever. Next thing you know, San Francisco's lined up for a 55-yarder. This guy now, he's kind of a little bit of a head case. He's a rookie kicker, and he's missed in the last 2 or 3 games. He missed a couple, or missed 1 or 2 with the Packers, and missed 1 or 2 with Detroit. Rhett, your mic's on if you know anything different, but I think he's been inconsistent. And so a 55-yarder, like this is a in the Super Bowl. This is a clutch kick, and this is a far kick.
It was the longest
It's a record
field goal.
kick.
Yeah,
Field
it was a
goal
record.
Until the other guy broke it.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Super Bowl history if he makes
And
it.
this is a field goal is so beautiful to watch when executed properly.
Yeah.
I agree.
When all these guys, these guys got to run these guys out. And you know what? Almost every field goal in the NFL is almost blocked.
You're right.
Like-
It's
like-
within a few inches.
It's-
Yes.
That's what makes them so,
But not extra
55 yards.
points.
54 was the record.
I was trying to see if they had the the little bit better camera as to how it went through the line, how it almost got blocks, and the gunners on the end are usually the ones that almost get them. Watch they come flying in.
55 yards. 54 was the record. Steve.
Like if you look at that, how did this guy right here miss the ball?
He timed it perfect.
Just watch.
Yards. 54 was the record. Steve Christie and Moody. The rookie.
And I got to tell you, man, Moody, he had about 10 more yards
Yeah,
left
he
on
did.
that bitch.
Nails it. A Super Bowl record from 55 out.
All right. So now it's 10. Now it's 3-0. San Fran. San Fran's dominating the game because they got their front four. Their
Dominating.
front four were the game until they weren't.
Yeah.
Like that was why. Mahomes was so scrambling for his life because of Bosa and Young, and who's the other dude? Bosa, Young, and Young are the two.
They're the two ends.
other weapon on the outside.
And I think that Mahomes knew all along he was going to run this ball.
Yeah, he was going to tuck it and run.
Yeah.
I think he knew all, but he's
a good runner.
He's not fast.
He's a good runner.
He's not fast. He's not faster than the Baltimore
but
guy.
He's strong.
He's one of the more effective runners.
He's not faster than the Chicago guy.
Nope.
He's not faster than C.J. Stroud. He's not faster than probably is Tua noted for being fast?
Not really.
Not really.
He's similar to Mahomes.
13-yard line.
There's
Taylor.
There's Taylor.
T-Swift.
May I say something real quick?
There's a lesbian pile going on right now, and it's Taylor Swift's in the middle. That's hot as hell. Yes, you can say something.
So this was the first time that this format had ever been used in a Super Bowl, and Tom Brady won with the old format a couple of times with the field goal, first possession, in the overtime, boom, game over. And so San Fran would have won in the old rules. So the new rules were applied, and Mahomes, I mean, anyone who watched that game, it was like watching Tom Brady. We all knew he was going to go down and drive 7 and get 7 points. Did anyone not feel that?
That's why you're the guy. You know, you're the MVP.
Yes.
You're the MVP of the one of the MVP of the leagues. You're you are being compared to. I mean, would you not agree, my sports guys, that they're already starting to draw inferences of Mahomes being Brady-like with regards to hardware?
Yeah.
He got back-to-back. The only one that's done it's Brady 20 years ago. This will be the first team that's had an opportunity to do 3 in a row. If he does that, He's getting there.
Only guy to go back to back.
I said in 20 years.
Bart started.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
in 20 years is the last time.
That puts you in an elite league when you are, you are able to take when you have to drive 80 yards. You got to win the champion, not just to win, but to win the championship game
in overtime.
I mean, that's what makes you who you are and how they've paid you, because you are a absolute stud and you are the game in the making. Like you are our LeBron James. You are our Tom Brady right now. You are that guy. You are Mr. NFL.
He's already reaching Joe Montana status, and he's just a click away from, the all-time greatest GOAT Tom Brady. He's got a few more Super Bowls to do, but he's 28 years old. He's a kid. He's 28 years old.
He's so young. And listen, there's other quarterbacks in the league that have his skill set, but none are more clutch, and
swag that kid has.
None have more success early on as this guy.
Yeah, this is a predictable.
Russell had
predictable ending to the game.
Russell was never.
They had 2 to do.
Yeah.
The most amazing hit. The most amazing hit of the game was Travis Kelce on their coach, the head coach.
I'm gonna talk about that. That's something I want to talk about.
It again. Jets.
Wow, that's awesome.
So within the game, and there's the Brittany. We've already watched a little bit of that, or enough of that. We can move on. She does not look like a hammerhead shark.
Sorry. It was
you guys want to make her that
hammerhead.
So when Kansas City's not doing so good,
yeah, that's right here.
And it if it really feels bad, there's a point when it was 10-3 and there were some turnovers and Kelce it didn't seem like they could get Kelce the ball.
Nope.
And I think this stems from Kelce's really mad and he's talking about the play calling.
He had 1 yard.
That's why he grabs. And I've watched this a few different times and people have analyzed it, and they've deciphered that Kelce was talking about Andy Reid's play calling about get me the effing ball, get me the effing ball, and that's why the grabbing of the playbook.
Because the guy before fumbled the play before and he wasn't in. And he was saying, keep me in. Give me the ball, coach, is essentially that one.
He didn't want to be taken out of the game, but he did clarify after the game he was just telling Andy Reid how much he loved him.
Here we go.
He comes over to Andy. He goes, keep me in. What happened is, on the fumble, he was not in the game. Noah Gray went in.
Wait till he does that to Taylor.
My wife took his
attack
jersey
an old
off.
man like that. Why wouldn't he attack a woman like that?
My wife took his jersey off. My daughter took his jersey off the moment he did that, and they started rooting against him. I swear to God.
Yep, it's disgusting.
Because my wife respects old people.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal, man. It didn't look good. It kind of tarnished the Taylor Swift, Kelsey, little fairy tale.
Yes.
The little fairy tale we got going on where they're perfect, and it shows like he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, it looks like an angry football player dick.
Right, and like Andy Reid, I mean, listen, there's different schemes and things like that where you're out of the game. It's just the offensive play plan that they've put in with different personnel changes. It's part of the game.
He was one click away from an AB.
It's part of no, he was.
If he didn't get any more plays and they lost that game, he would have flipped out in the end zone.
Andy Reid probably has a much more cooler demeanor than us because if I'm the coach, I bench him.
You're yoking him up?
I was going to say, what does Coach Bubba do
I'm
right
like,
there?
you know what? Go sit on the bench and think about it for a few series, and I'll call when I want you. Don't you ever act like that in a game that I'm coaching.
It was the only unpredictable thing of the whole game to me.
And so
that was shocking to me.
But you know what? Andy Reid's probably thinking that's going to make more of a controversy than me just shuffling this off like it wasn't a big deal. And me and Travis go at it all the time, and that's the kind of players coach I am. I'm not just going to bury a guy's D in the ground for having a competitive. He wasn't. This wasn't because they were they were fighting for the same parking spot or had road rage. This was an in-game, emotional, a lot at stake deal. So you would hope that your players have that much passion, and so you can spin this as a couple different ways. And I think Andy Reid spun it and acted to it in a really, really mature,
no doubt,
seasoned coach. Don't let that be disruptive or be because it could have been very had Reid retaliated back and said, "Get your ass on the." That would have been a thing that at this point the Chiefs don't need.
Well, just imagine if they lost.
Yes.
Right.
It was more disruptive in my house than it was for him on the sidelines. That guy's unflappable.
Appreciate everybody showing up.
This is, by the way,
what a great experience.
This is Andy Reid's press conference. I don't know if when he addresses the.
I appreciate our guys for the great job that they did. The players.
I don't know. You should be
deflating.
Yeah.
And the coaches.
It looks great.
Defensively, our guys came out, played their hearts out like they've done all year, kept us in the game, and then the offense just kind of persevered through it. Tough in the first half, tough sledding, and they did a little better. We did a little better in the second half. And then obviously the last drive was a thing of beauty, and all of this, congratulations to the 49ers for being here. Kyle is great.
See, that's the difference that's why Dan could never be a head coach in the NFL. Because Andy Reid with class says, and like Tony Dungy would and other really classy guys go, acknowledge the loser and how tough they are and how good of a game they played and how much you respect. Dan would have been, and the 49ers that are over there in Loserville right now. I just sent 200 extra crybaby towels over there. So you might want to go from this winning swagger over to Loserville, because ask them if there's a second place Lombardi trophy. There ain't, bitch! We got the hardware.
Yeah, I made a gift bag for you guys with a bunch of dude wipes and AFC championship rings.
That's why Dan could never be a coach, because Andy's like, hey, you got this guy, they're great. 49ers are great. Shanahan system, they almost got us. Oh, golly shucks.
Head football coach, the 49ers are lucky to have him.
And you're lucky if you don't get your ass fired, Shanahan, for being a choker, buddy. That's Dr. Dan's press conference.
What a game, right? What a game. It could have gone either way, and it was just one of those games. I feel fortunate to have been on the positive side.
Are they saying he's retiring or is he sticking around?
They asked him. He said he wasn't going to answer it. Yeah. So
I mean, he's gone.
He's going to milk that thing as long as he can, I think.
No,
I sent you his
commercials.
I sent you his short comment on the Kelsey thing.
He's getting paid with State Farm. He's got a team that loves him. Where's he going?
And everybody becomes a mark for themselves once you're doing State Farm commercials. Right? Then now you're a mark for yourself, and you don't want that to go away, right?
That's your brand.
Unless you're Aaron Rodgers and get it canceled from you.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hold on here. Let me turn this up here. Oh, where's the volume at?
Right there. You were right by it. where the full screen is.
Yeah.
It's on the other side. Opposite side of where you're at.
The right side,
Yeah.
Bubba? The right there.
Oh,
you go.
Jesus, God. You literally have to be an IT. I mean, Anna, you sit here and try to, flare up commercial.
I did.
And it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the logistics.
Especially when there's, the pressure of time on you to do it immediately.
Right, exactly. And keep it seamless.
Right.
And all of that, yeah.
Chris and Trav and the job, that they've done. They're passionate players, man, and I love that. And even if they chest bump me to the other side of the 50, I appreciate it. I just love that the guy wants to play.
See, he's exactly. I didn't even see the news conference, and this is exactly how I think he should have spun it, saying, "Man, I want guys like that or that passionate." And
one way of saying it.
He wants to be in there playing, and he knows I love that. So he makes me feel young.
And you know what? What's the right decision? Because if Bubba Lombardi or if Gruden and anyone benches him, you may not have won the game.
No, you're right.
So for him to handle it that mature and know this is 2023 with a different kind of personality, and that I'm just this guy used to be a player, I believe, and he's a stud.
Yeah, he was a right tackle for BYU.
So
I
getting
think,
a little bump on the shoulder from this guy in the grand scheme of things is probably nothing. His ability to keep it together is incredible.
Here's the difference, and let me put it in terms that might be brilliant for you, in the fact that if you do something, if you throw a fit and you don't handle it in a calm way, and instead you go over the top and you point to the bench, you make the guy sit out for 2 series, and it becomes a distraction. Everybody talks about it, and you lose the game. Now you've given them an appealable situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've opened the door for an appealable, like if you were to do a law analogy, you've given them an appealable situation. Whereas if you handle it cool hand Luke like he did and just, brush it off and it's not a big deal, now nobody can second guess the decision at all.
It just became a play.
Right. It's like, it really shows you his demeanor and class. It really does. And that he's a player's coach.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah. First of all.
Cheap shot, but that's all right. He did good. He was really coming over, just put me in, I'll score. So that's really what it was. Well, I love that. I mean, it's not the first time, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, again, can you handle it any cooler than that?
Nope.
You can't, and it automatically puts it to bed, like it's done.
It's over.
I think what Kelsey said too. He was tight-lipped.
Well, he was tight-lipped.
Yeah.
His Taylor Brand's people probably came in and said,
"Oh, you guys saw that? What was the conversation about? Was
there were a few cameras.
I mean, was it, hey, I need the ball, I can help us win? What was that about?
Man, it was. I'm gonna keep it between us unless my mic'd up tells the world. But I was just telling him how much I love him.
See, and I think
delusional.
But hold on. But then he also puts it to bed. He's going to say, I'm just going to leave it between us guys.
Yep.
Like, I don't need to share that with the world. That's the right way to handle that, too. Where do you go with that?
Lip syncer.
Nowhere.
Those 2 real good teams.
This is the coach. Dan would actually, if Dan was the coach of the Chiefs, he would actually break in on this guy's press conference and be like, "Hey, just want to let everybody know that hey, we're having champagne over in our room."
Like Conor McGregor
carrying him with the trophy. The time
talk to the users.
You don't got this, bitch.
Dancing around in front of the camera.
Has one of his assistants hit Queen, "We are the champions."
Exactly.
Back and forth throughout the whole game.
Pitty's got an 80s boombox playing "We Are the Champions." Jimmy Cleavis is security.
And both teams played their asses off, but and then they got it done. I mean, we all hurt. I mean, everyone knows how it feels, and don't have a lot of words for it, but obviously we're hurting. Our team's hurting, but that's how it goes when you put yourself out there. I'm real proud of our guys for no regrets with our team. I thought our guys played so hard today. Not everything was perfect by no means, but I'm going to lose with a group of guys. It's do with those guys anytime. And we'll take some time. We'll get over this and come back next year ready to go.
By the way, your offensive possession ended in overtime. Obviously, you wanted a touchdown. What went wrong where you guys couldn't get through there?
What went wrong in overtime as to why you couldn't move the ball?
They moved it 100 yards. They just couldn't get the last 3.
With a bunch of timely penalties.
It looked like there was a protection bust up the middle. We were going to Juwan. I know it looked like Juwan killed him. One pretty good, but Chris Jones got loose in the middle. I think there was a mistake, not sure, but also he's a hard guy to block.
It looked like you thought about it, maybe going for it there in the field goal, or was that at all?
No, we never thought about there, 4th and 4. I mean, even if
let me 4th and 4. You can't be going for it in overtime. So we've closed out the game. Okay, the game that was won by the Chiefs in overtime, 25-22. Patrick Mahomes, the MVP, and then so here's the pregame hoopla, and it all started with. And don't forget, there was a shooting in Houston at Joel Osteen's church.
Yeah,
and that got interrupted with, I don't know if this is the actual footage of the interruption in Houston, but Taylor Swift was such a huge part of the Super Bowl that KCAL, KCAL, which I think is the CBS affiliate in Los Angeles, did breaking news reports of her plane landing at LAX.
New at 5, all eyes are on Taylor.
I mean, like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, like
Trump going to court.
Well, yeah, or just like the president flying in from I don't know,
over abroad, an abroad
as
trip.
The artist makes her way to the Super Bowl, literally crossing oceans to support her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. Swift landed today in L.A. This is video of her touching down at LAX after a 12-hour...
And they even pulled it in a hangar so she didn't have to walk the tarmac. You know what I'm saying?
Look at her jet, dude.
Flight and
Look at that
17
thing.
hours.
Oh, I know that. I mean,
look at that thing.
And that's the 7X. That's the Falcon 7X.
She's mad because there's a kid that got an app that publicizes the public information of where she goes.
Yeah, sorry.
So she went 15 minutes to get a haircut rather than drive 30. She took her plane. She just came from Japan to L.A. But I mean, dude, that's
but then
the baddest plane I've ever seen.
But here's the thing, Jay. She actually had to downsize planes. I think this one might be the one waiting for her because Las Vegas had already told her, we can't fit your plane right now. We have so much
no problem, I got to back up.
We have so much private plane out here right now and we're charging like $4,000 for a tie down. So can you bring like maybe your Hawker or something a little bit less instead of your 52 capacity plane? Can you bring your 9-seater?
That's a 25-seater.
Appears to be on schedule there to make her Super Bowl.
Who is she? Michael Jackson?
Yeah, she is. She's the new everything, man.
That is trippy.
Oh yeah, you know why she's better than Michael Jackson? Because she doesn't touch kids.
Through the Grayston Foundation.
What's that?
I second that.
Taylor Swift was shown a total of 53 seconds during the Super Bowl, and it shows each time that I think this next
How many
one here.
different shots? I said there was about 20.
It wasn't until he started performing. In the first half, there had maybe been a couple. And then once he started performing more, she started doing. Then once the game was over, I mean, every time they score, they look at her.
Yeah.
I would say it was probably 5 during the game, and then at overtime, probably another 3.
Here was a highlight from one of her
She was
shots.
total of, was it 12 times? I think it was 12. 12 times. She was shown 12 times for 53 seconds. 12. These interesting and called blah 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 with her boyfriend blah blah blah.
That cost $14 million in ads. It was $7 million for RFK Jr. to do that 30-second slot. So she almost got a full minute, which would cost $14 million.
And her suite was like the it suite to be in, that like some of the biggest celebrities in the world were just trying to get an invitation, almost like being a little bitch. Hey, can we come into your suite? Here's, I think, Shaquille O'Neal.
I'm glad that the Cowboys fans are here in full, and it's going to be a great game. Cowboys 20-3 tomorrow.
You have an actual prediction or not?
Yeah, Cowboys by 3 touchdowns. Cowboys by 3 touchdowns. Don't ask me again. No, it's Kansas City, San Francisco. May the best team win.
Somebody needs to tell Shaq, stop with the shtick. just be the ultimate man's man, ass kicking. Like, I really like you a lot. Don't get into your deadpan, Cowboys by 3 shtick. Just cut that out, please.
And I was with Jason Kelce yesterday. He's a fine young man. So if I had to pick a team, I'd probably root for Travis.
That's not a team.
No, he did, but I'm not going to tell you.
Could you imagine an NBA team in Vegas?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, so can you imagine the NBA team in Vegas? And when he says we're working on it, that means he's got a black ownership group. that I think is like Jay-Z, him, LeBron, and Michael Jordan. Maybe Magic. I think they're working on a black ownership group to get a team in Vegas.
What's the?
Who's that?
Someone who loves him.
He can do that because he helped me get my 4th trip. Hey, I'm good.
Yeah, 95% of other people would have been knocked out if come up here and grabbed Shaq like that.
I sent you a clip of Taylor Swift. You might like. I don't know if you saw this during the game.
Oh, you guys saw that? What was the conversation?
That's Lummy. I hit the wrong deal here. Okay, and this is from Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
All right, hold on here.
I think she's getting booed, and
no, nobody's booing her.
And she chugged a beer.
Let me see where.
There you go.
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
She's trying her best.
I mean, listen, man.
That's cool.
She's trying to get that guy from Oklahoma that doesn't like Taylor Swift, that hardcore NFL fan.
That's what Baker does.
They're trying to get her. She's trying to get the average NFL fan who doesn't think that she's good for the league. Be like, well, man, maybe she ain't so bad. She slugged a beer. She's just a good old girl. Beer slugging bitch. Hold on.
It was just water.
It was a Bud Light.
Did you see Post Malone had a Bud Light?
Yes. Of course.
And so, but now do you notice now that like if you're a celebrity and you almost have to continue your brand or to refresh your brand or to make sure that you can get extra eyeballs on your brand, because being a celebrity now, just a celebrity in itself, can be very financially rewarding with social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. These celebrities need to be out there and be seen and be talked about and be on camera. And so it's almost like, as a celebrity, you got to make it to the Super Bowl and got to try to make it on camera and be in a box and look, because, look, you had LeBron James, you had all these Hollywood actors, you had, you just had everybody there, all these rappers, and it's like their publicists almost have to probably make backdoor deals to get him in certain suites and then get word to CBS that they're going to be there so that they can just hope and pray that they get get a one mention on because what's the Super Bowl, 100 million plus people?
Yeah.
So, it's probably a huge underground world of publicists that are calling all these rich people in corporate America, because those are the ones that have boxes, right? And saying, hey, I currently represent, I don't know.
Hey, Elder Ford, can I have a couple seats?
Yeah, well, not really. We were going to, I realize that, but, such and such, some A-list, Kim Kardashian.
Done.
Kim Kardashian would like to be in your box, Dan and Jay. But
Todd does that. Rob does that constantly. That's how we get Vasilevsky and all these people in our box all the time. Is Rob just gives them away to all those people?
I know that, but that's on the local level. Imagine it on
corporate level.
On the Super Bowl level, where these celebrities, it's almost mandatory that they get in a box and be seen and get covered on CBS for their brand.
It was the most important event in pop culture this weekend, and so anyone is trying to converge on the Super Bowl.
Right.
If you're acting, if you're in athletics, if you're in music, whatever you do, you want to be there because that's where everybody and all the world's focus is.
Right, and it almost becomes like a mandatory PR move on your, like, you're not really there and necessarily enjoying the game. You're there because your publicist has said we've got to get you in a box and on camera because it makes you, your digital currency worth that much. Because
it makes you relevant.
When you see some, as an American, when you see X celebrity in a box, there's probably a better than 50% chance that the average American goes and looks up that celebrity on one of their various social platforms.
How many people probably Googled what an Ice Spice is yesterday?
Right. Right.
And then the cameos and the commercials. This is a time to be relevant or re-relevize yourself.
Right.
Stars came out to cheer on the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers for Super Bowl LV8 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
Here's a list.
Oh, Jesus.
A small list.
Check out who attended the big game here.
Who's that?
That's Jimmy Kimmel.
And
Was the
his
first one Queen
Mexican
Latifah?
Yeah.
Jay-Z at the Super Bowl with his daughters. Okay, so we
With
got
Beyonce.
So far we got Jimmy
His
Kimmel.
hat's gonna fall off.
Who was this person?
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah.
Oh, okay. So Queen Latifah, right? Mm-hmm. Then Jimmy Kimmel with like his guy that works for him,
Yeah,
right?
his Mexican sidekick.
janitor, yeah. And then Jay-Z and his daughters. I guess it really kind of shows you, like Jay-Z's on the field,
right?
Like Jimmy Kimmel was in a box.
Not even.
Jay-Z's on the field. Jay-Z's
with
ready,
a lot of people.
Jay-Z's ready to check in if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Jay-Z. All right, enough for Jay-Z. Thanks, appreciate it. Oh, they're getting handed their passes.
Credentials, yeah.
Yeah. You know your pimp when you go, and then they just give you your credentials when you're already at a place that you're not supposed to be with credentials.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh. That's Ice Spice, by the way.
Now is this Ice Spice?
Ice Spice, yeah.
One in Taylor Swift's
I don't
box.
Is
get
she
it.
and Ice Spice was in Taylor Swift's box,
Oh
right?
yeah, they were like hand
Now
in hand.
is she like a female rapper?
Yes.
Woman empowerment.
And is she like
Gross, yes.
Okay, all right. All right.
He's also
This guy looks
surprised.
mortified.
Now who's this guy?
I don't know.
He's mortified at the
mortified
at the patheticness of it.
All right, so NFL announcer says Jay-Z is the greatest rapper alive at the Super Bowl. All right, so there's that.
This guy loves Jay-Z.
No narcissism.
Hold on here. And now, hold on. And then now this is Taylor Swift's entrance into the facility with her entourage.
Look how many people.
There's Ice Spice.
That's Jason Kelsey meeting Ice Spice.
Hey, as we take a look at Jason Kelsey, JJ, big guys are having a lot of fun. Hey, it's a perfect city for.
Media totally ignores Ice Spice as Taylor Swift hits the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
She's irrelevant next to her.
Yeah.
It's like having a splinter next to the Empire State Building.
Like why? And why did she pick Ice Spice?
I don't know.
She's
She's
like
like the
the vibes.
loserest,
of her album.
lowest celebrity found. She win a contest.
All right, who's this?
Usher.
There's
Is it?
Usher.
That's Usher.
It's
I thought the Super.
He's
I
wearing
thought-
an Afghan.
I thought the after show was horrible.
Have it the
you
halftime
mean
show.
halftime show?
Can I tell you what the halftime show should have been called?
What?
Where are the white people?
Okay. I don't know if I'd call it that.
How about that?
Jimmy the Greek.
I couldn't.
I'm just saying, can we get one white performer? Can we get one something
At least
else?
use his hat.
Reba McEntire did the national anthem very poorly.
One, and I guess Post Malone.
Post Malone did awesome.
But
God bless America. It was America the Beautiful.
I don't know if he's really a white guy.
He's white.
He is. Beautifully.
All right, who's this?
Travis Scott.
Oh man, that concert was awesome. Jesus.
Oh, did you see that video I sent where people are blasting during his concert?
Yeah. There's Taylor Swift slugging a shot or something.
After the Super Bowl, Travis will have a lot of free time thanks to the offseason.
It's like a glass of water.
Meaning he can finally join Taylor Swift on tour and support her at her shows like she's been supporting him at games.
Oh my God. He's going to start appearing at shows.
He already
He'll
has.
probably start doing a duet. Probably start doing a duet with her, like Tim McGraw, Faith Hill.
Let me know your thoughts down to the. A Star Is Born.
Man, do you know how, like, if he could talk her into that, where he
does a country song?
Well, no, they could just do a song together. You know,
yeah, but like a country type song where he doesn't have to do much.
Yeah, something like that. she would know his abilities of what he can and cannot sing, which I would assume probably not a lot.
She could sample him in
Comment
like
section
Ben,
below, and of course,
like Ben
while you're there,
Shapiro.
if you're enjoying what we're bringing you, and if you like the opinion side of everything that I do from time to time.
Who's this guy?
I don't know. He's a loser. But he could be like he could be to her like that guy does the hype for the Ludacris stuff. What's his name? The little guy that he was there. He was at the halftime show. Little John. Yeah, he could be like the Little John for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Little Travis.
Now who's this? Who are these people?
They're
now?
actors, Paul Rudd. And I think it's Paul Rudd's kid.
Yep.
You guys have been great as always.
Now is Paul Rudd really, really popular?
He used to look like the kid in the left.
Ant-Man. He's pretty funny.
For the latest stories, the latest.
That's great. Ant-Man's at the Super Bowl.
Updates, the latest breaking news.
He's on a lot of
and
stuff.
occasional
actor.
opinion.
Yeah,
sure.
And we'll catch you guys on the next go round.
Elon Musk was
Be
there.
safe in the meantime, and you know I mean.
He looked kind of big.
Who did?
Elon Musk is there. I sent you
Saying he's fat.
Little John.
I sent you an article with like who other celebrities were just by pictures.
He's been tweeting about jugs every day.
Who has?
Elon Musk.
Really?
He's jug hungry.
He's what?
Jug hungry.
Like boobs?
You got a lot in common with him, Bubba.
What's that?
You got a lot in common with him. You're drug happy, aren't you?
No, I mean
You're not.
He's not jug crazy.
No, I think
Not jug obsessed.
if he sees a good set on anything, we got to have a discussion about it.
Yeah, we got to fundamentally break it down. Why are you so reserved?
I mean, yeah, who are you trying to make? Come
I
on,
don't
of
know
course
if I'm
you
a
are.
jug guy. Come on.
You're not a jug guy, Bubba?
Yeah, of course I am.
Okay.
Who cares?
Brad's mom.
So here are the celebrities that Lummy has rounded up that were at the game. The Kardashians, of course. Who's that? Is that Sierra?
Yeah, Sierra, Russell Wilson, and C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
The Biebers.
Paul McCartney.
There you go.
Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. They did a pre-song together. Did you guys see that performance?
Didn't.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It's a horrible picture of Elon Musk.
Elon Musk looks like literally he just ate some battery acid.
Wow, he's got his kid next to him.
Yeah, but he looks
Is that
horrible.
y equals mc squared or whatever?
I don't know what that is.
XYZ.
I don't know.
PDQ.
Queen Latifah was there.
By herself.
John Hamm and I don't know who either one of these guys are.
Actors.
Madman.
Oh,
Jared Leto was there. Ice Spice, Taylor Swift, and Blake Lively.
Taylor Swift was there?
Is that Blake Lively?
Yeah.
she looks good.
What does she do?
She's an actress. She's married to Ryan Reynolds.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd and his son. Gordon Ramsay, of course, he had the.
Well, he has a big presence in Vegas. You know, he has his Hell's
Many
Kitchen restaurant
restaurants.
there, and he does a lot of shows there.
Sure, now, whatever.
Jay-Z, Blue Ivy Carter, and Rummy Carter. That's his daughter.
Where's Beyonce?
Yeah, where's your
That's what we
mom?
wanna
She
see.
was there earlier in the box.
She was.
They showed her.
Post Malone was there, representing the Whiz-Ike Trizash of America.
Gross.
Andrea Day, which I think
She sang the beautiful Black National Anthem.
Right.
What is the name of that again?
Black National Anthem.
Oh, right.
It's called
Lift every voice and sing.
Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's my favorite song.
It's like 17 minutes long. It's like longer than Stairway to Heaven.
Kanye. Was Kanye West there?
Is that him in the black hood?
Hard to say.
It says Kanye West and Bianca Simpson stand at the sidelines during the Super Bowl. So that's Kanye West with a robber's mask on.
Nice.
Of course.
Ludacris.
Usher, Little John, all for the all for the Super Bowl, for the halftime show, which we'll get into next. But man, I thought Alicia Keys really. I thought maybe she was pregnant.
Oh, stop! She's got
She's been that size since the very beginning.
The
She hasn't
first
gotten
note
bigger or
was
smaller.
sour. She didn't sound great.
Yeah, that first note out was kind of cracked. There's the Biebers.
The Biebers, Mr. and Mrs. Bieber.
Saggy face.
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del. Who's that?
She's a singer. I like her.
Dan, talk about. I've had my face pulled back 62 times.
Jesus Christ.
Dan, you would absolutely be 10 times richer if you were just Wayne Newton's personal surgeon. Plastic surgery. My Lord.
Yeah, it's bad.
Man. Brittany Mahomes was there.
Straight fire.
Who's this? Lummy Gabrielle Union and some other black girls.
Dwayne Wade,
and then some other black girls, and then Lady Gaga. Somebody needed to tell her, Lady Gaga, you look 55.
Insane. Is that Gavin Newsom?
Is that
behind
Gavin
him?
Newsom?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Now, are they holding hands?
Well, Gavin Newsom's in the
Behind,
back.
back right.
The guy
Behind,
is her
in this-
boyfriend.
Is the guy her boyfriend?
Yeah, Michael Polanski.
She looks like hell.
Well, she's like trying to look
looks
weird.
like hell.
Yeah.
She was never beautiful. I just don't understand that fancy eye stuff that she put on.
Jeff
'cause-
Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum was there, and he really kind of went over the top when he got on camera. You notice how the celebrities, like, they'll either just kind of act like, sit there like Queen Latifah and try to cool, or they'll actually try to wave and do something
interactive.
And Jeff Goldblum did that. Russell Wilson and his wife Sierra.
What?
Drummer for the Chili Peppers, Chad Smith.
Oh, that's who that is?
He got on TV?
Yeah. He was
That
on the
Russell
field.
Brand?
All right, so this is
There's Jared Leto.
there's Reba McEntire.
That was terrible.
There's Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. There's the Mahomes deal, and just trying to say anything new that I missed. Lummy, who's this? This is
Some hot chick.
Braxton Berrios?
You just need to be a hot chick. Is all you need to be. Who's this?
Megan Fox?
The Imagine Dragons.
Minka Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Minka Kelly? She
Yeah.
looks great.
I thought it was Megan Fox.
Remember she was with Derek Jeter for the
Yeah,
longest
she was.
time.
Yep.
Now she's with the Imagine Dragons guy.
Yeah.
Man. And then there's
His overalls?
There's Travis Kelce's brother Jason, who plays for the I think maybe just retired from the Eagles.
He hasn't
Right?
retired yet, but
Who's this?
that's Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
With his hot ass wife.
Yeah.
Chilling.
There's Elon Musk, and then there's Gwen Stefani again, and then who's this? Who's this?
Tim Cook.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Apple.
No, Apple
Oh, sorry.
CEO.
Hold on. If you're the CEO of Apple, don't you think you have a hotter wife
Did you let me?
this?
60, isn't he?
And don't you tell your 60-year-old wife who's trying to be hot not to wear
Gold
pants.
plant
the Rick
pants.
James pants? Right?
Yeah.
I
For
mean,
sure.
My God.
Gold LeMay pants from the 80s.
Again, everybody, if you were a who's who, you just had to be there.
Ugh.
So that you got a little bit of rub. And who's this guy?
Bob Weir.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
I don't know who Bob
Old.
Weir
He's
is.
about to die.
This is the San Francisco 49ers fullback wife.
Yeah.
This is who's this? I don't know who the hell that again. Oh, there's
Carrot Top.
look at
God,
Carrot
that looks
Top.
horrible.
Oh my
look
God.
I thought
sad.
it was Captain Jack.
Oh, Bob Weir is part of Grateful Dead.
So again, even the Grateful Dead's publicist is like, get your ass out.
Right.
Everybody but Biden. It wasn't important enough to him.
Yeah, this is the first time now. See, if I'm the president of the United States, I use this opportunity. Because, nobody tells the president no. And so if you're the president of the United States and you're coherent enough to be able to watch the game and understand the game, then you should be coherent enough to tell your handlers, hey, I'd like to zoom in into the locker room of the winning team. Because they would do it. They're not going to. CBS is not going to tell Joe Biden no. If Joe Biden, if the president's people get a hold of CBS and say, listen, can you have Zoom capable? We're going to give us the White House here. Our White House media staff will be zooming into the winners' locker room so the president can congratulate the winners live on Zoom/TV. Right?
Yep.
And so next thing you know, the Chiefs are all in there partying, and Andy Reid's giving it a speech, and they go, "Hey, everybody, look around to the TV," and it's the president. It's like, "Hey, it's Joe Biden. I just want to let you guys know you fought out, you fought your hearts out. You didn't give up. You got true American grit, and we really, really appreciate you. And congratulations to the city of Kansas City and to you, Andy Reid, and the Lamar family, and the Kansas City Chiefs, the world champions. Congratulations."
Well,
but that would take a guy that could form those sentences together.
He was offered 3 minutes, Bubba.
3 minutes.
And with a softball interview, and this is his second year in a row that he's declined it, so it should be evidence of what their concern is about putting him out in public like they did last week. He can't do 3-minute softball interview because he was guaranteed, I think they said 120 million eyeballs, Bubba.
Yeah.
Well, he blew his wad Friday night when he tried to do a press conference after the special counsel found that he grossly mishandled everything, but he was too senile
Do we have that
to
press
withstand a charge.
Do we have that press conference?
I'll send
It's
it
only
again.
5-6 minutes.
But is it him? What?
Oh, him floundering.
He forgot where his son gave him his rosary
All right,
beads from that he wears every day.
There it is.
I'll do that. I'll do that next. I got commercials and the halftime show and the Biden botch up to handle.
Your voice of reason has spoken. More Bubba the Love Sponge after this.
Which I just think is a sign of this declining
Yeah, so they
faculties.
turned it down last year because it was on Fox. This year was CBS, so they have no excuse.
What's up, Brian Gilstein? Candy Powers. I know, Knight Rider, it was pathetic. I feel bad even. I don't want to make fun of it because I feel like I'm watching somebody who I love lose their mental faculties. Although I never loved the guy politically, I just don't like seeing old people. You know, it's hard to like.
Yeah, watch.
It's really getting worse because I watched my father, and there was a point where we were like, you know, this is happening very quickly. Danny and I spoke about it maybe 6 weeks ago with Biden because I saw him somewhere. And it reminds me of that. Like, it just keeps going every time we see him, he's going down and down and down. It's like I don't know if he makes it through the election. Like alive.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, I mean, like, I think he's rapidly declining.
Yeah, and it's getting harder and harder to conceal, so the only way to do that is just to hide them, you know?
Felix DeCat, Harry Cantrell, what's up, everybody? Grouper Lips. Love that hidden, concealed. Thank you, buddy. Mizuki, Carlos Clem. I know they always were the big opening act. Actually, jokes aside, I thought Post Malone was amazing.
Did somebody send me the Biden flub?
I don't know if he did or not.
All right,
I'll make sure he does.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Okay.
I got it. Thank you.
You haven't seen it? Oh my God, Bubba, you're gonna lose it.
We'll watch it.
It's terrible. I'll be quiet. What up, Marcus Smart? Berto Perez, morning. I just stepped out. What up, Ned? His Zerpies. I did. It was pretty cool. He's a super talented guy. I saw him recently on Joe Rogan, and I just have a bigger respect for him because he was, I guess, Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne the God really disrespected him on some old podcasts or broadcasts. So I've liked him a lot more since I watched that. What up, HS Bubba Fan 69, Marcus Mark, Orbit 321. The best part about Musher and Ned's Zerpies was that he was at least live, not lip syncing. What up, Campers God? I appreciate that. Kids Arlos, Kids Lem, what up, back at you? I agree. When you watch that, sometimes when he's so opinionated, Charlemagne, but I guess that's why he's on the radio. He is a broadcasting icon, I would say. I did see the Kennedy commercial, HS Boba Fan 69. I showed my 16-year-old. He loved it. Do you know if that was an original John F. Kennedy that they just put his face in, or did they just do that old school vibe? Fizuk, you Snizuki Slayer. I I bet Joe Biden would fall for the Mike Hunt gag. So you're saying I have the mental faculties of Joe Biden?
Oh shit.
He said it, Rex. Well, I think it's funny.
Oh, dear.
Reboot did suck, and for me, one of the biggest parts of the Super Bowl is always watching the national anthem. Because I get a little teary-eyed, I take my hat off. I always have since I was a kid. So like when I saw the Chris Stapleton one, incredible. Where he played, that was last year, 2 years ago, when the Eagles coach was crying, and it was just incredible.
This year not so much.
Hmm?
This year not so much.
Reba McEntire just did.
I didn't see
it.
it.
Was just okay.
It was so
Did you see? If you ever watch, I need to rely on YouTube. Like Chris Stapleton, the national anthem. Joe Rogan watches it. He watches it with Luke Combs. And it was like the first time I watched it, I almost cried. So the two of them watched it together. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. Did you see that? He's such an idiot. It's not working. My kids' age group, it's not working. They all see right through that shit.
You don't think he did that himself?
Yeah, just like his responsive tweets are from him. Full sentences.
Bubba Mantra says we're a little behind.
Yeah, we are. We are. So I might do. I'm gonna do what's the new parody? Can't Drive 55.
Yeah, Dan Can't Drive 55.
I'm gonna do that. I'll do that, and then go back into words, and then come back with a Biden flub up. Now the Biden flub up is 12 minutes. Is there a redacted one that has them?
I love everything about the show.
Every day for 4 hours, man. It just makes time fly by.
Gotta be Bubba.
Just awesome. I love it.
I spent about 2 hours in my car when it's supposed to be a 20-minute break.
Yeah.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
February is Heart Health Month in the United States, and more than half of the population would still benefit for some sort of blood pressure support. Superbeat Heart Chews are the #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended way to support healthy blood pressure. And they even promote heart-healthy energy without the stimulants or crash. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Superbeats are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. Superbeat Heart Chews support healthy circulation. So you not only get blood pressure support, but you also get productive, heart-healthy energy without the crash. Support your heart health with Superbeat Heart Chews today. And get a free supply of Superbeat Heart Chews on all bundles. And you get also a free full-size bag of what, Lummy? That's very important for your health.
Turmeric.
There you go. That's valued at $25. You can order by going to BubbaLovesBeats.com. Again, get this exclusive offer only at BubbaLovesBeats.com. Lummy, I am a little bit behind, and thank you, Mach, for bringing that to my attention. Maybe we could do the new parody song, Lummy.
Oh, yeah.
Then get into the Joe Biden big dust up with regards to him being incompetent that has turned into a news story. Then close out the halftime. I don't know. I think I can pretty much just sum up the halftime, show. I thought it was sucked.
Really?
I thought it was horrible.
I
liked it.
And then somebody needs to tell Usher that he's got a slight tinge of man boob, and that he might not want to take his shirt off.
Sage said Usher doesn't have as good as abs as you, Daddy.
No, J.D. Ocko, these 3 guys, just off the top of my head, these 4 guys off the top of my head have way better bodies and would be far better to take on. Jimmy Cleavis, Dan, Jay, and Macho Man, just off the top of my head, would have every right to take off their shirt during the Super Bowl. Usher, you got man boobs, bitch.
Man boobs.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he did.
I thought Usher definitely sang his ass off, but as far as like the whole halftime show, it was below average when you compare it to what we've had in the past.
Like, remember the one we had with Snoop Dogg?
That
was pretty awesome.
That was the best ever.
Right.
I like the Rihanna one last year.
We've had Prince.
I saw that one live.
Here's this is Dan. Who's this from?
It's Dark Match Steve. Dan can't drive 35.
So Dark Match Steve, this is his latest parody suggestion. He pulled over for a speeding ticket. Dan just probably totally rubs his crotch while he's going to his office and/or. See, am I not right on the man boobs?
I went back and checked it.
I'm right on the man boobs.
You know what, Bubba? You're right.
I'm right on the man boobs.
Yeah, okay.
Dan touches himself when he makes songs about him.
Oh,
the lighting isn't doing him
Pulled
any
over
favors.
For a speeding ticket because he drives his Ferrari. If you know how rappers are always making fun of other ones, there needs to be a rapper that, Usher got man boobs, bitch. Usher did the Super Bowl and never showed it but his man boobs, bitch. About to get mines, man boobs. Like a douchebag. Because, he's not Johnny Drive. He's Johnny Aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he drives really aggressive.
He's probably that one cop that tried to get him, a couple months back.
He's barely awake, and he's flooring the gas. Hey!
I hit the engine, and I guess I hit the gas a little too much, but I was, speeding.
He's got his windows rolled down so that he can't ash, yeah.
I mean, you like to go through the gears, don't you?
Revving his engine like he had something to prove. All his neighbors wish that he would move away. Between boob jobs and saving lives, the BRN is where he thrives. He breaks 10 laws before he arrives. Dan can't drive 35.
Oh, how fast were you going?
I mean, well, how many?
Like 45 and 35?
No way would he write you 45 and a 35.
He did.
Like,
he wrote from 44 and 35. It was like, I gave you a warning a few months ago.
Did he?
Yeah.
He's so aggressive as a driver.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm nice to police. And I just treated 4 cops to dinner the other night.
He's lucky he was locked in a cell. He took a picture for Bubba and he looked like a turtle outside of the shell.
Did you know that Dan did privately get a hold of me? He said, please, will you please not play the Dan Turtle pick?
Of course he did.
Ever again, please. Well, first of all, he's like, hey, can you call me? I got something really important. I'm like, oh, I hate that. I hate when somebody says, call me. I got something. I'm like, oh. I got IRS issues. I got all kinds of things going on. So Dan calls me, and so I'm thinking there's a big situation. I'm like, what, Dan? What's going on? He goes, hey, man, can you not play that? Can you not show that turtle pick no more, please? Seriously. I'm like, okay, buddy.
It's like he's running for his life. The cop's got a tip call from his wife. He won't let his mic time be deprived. Dan can't drive 35.
Little greasy, slippery Italian. You're so hard to catch, but I finally catch you. Well, we got to go to words. We'll do the Biden stuff and then the commercials of the Super Bowl next. Don't forget, today's after show is going to be a podcast exclusive. The only way you can listen to today's after show is to listen to our podcast. Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Apple, iHeart, or we would prefer that you just go to Bubba Army HQ and download it.
Yes, please.
And you can do that by just becoming a grunt, and that's just coming up with a screen name and giving us your email. That's it. It costs nothing. And you can download the podcast for free, bitch. BubbaArmyHQ.com. I think Kush comes in today, right?
Yes, he does.
It'd be interesting to get his spin on the Super Bowl. If he had an anxiety attack, if
he threw up,
fell asleep, it's hard telling what happened with him. We'll do you got the Biden stuff next?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yes, it is. No, it's not.
We rudely interrupt the rhetoric to let you know the following. Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
I got to get Steve's approval, Bubba, but I may have Danny go videotape himself telling that cop to leave his property. That guy posts on his property across the street at Steve's house and then busted him from his own property. You have to ask permission to be on your property. You can't do that.
Unless it was in part of an easement.
Right, which I don't believe they have one. So I said, let's make sure they don't have an easement. And
Right.
if not, you can go there, video yourself like a kid on the side of the street with a cop and be like, I'm asking you with respect, please leave my property. You don't have my consent. Imagine that video.
Yeah,
if I could get that.
and just say, listen, yeah, but being very nice about it.
Yeah, if you'd asked, I would have said yes, but you didn't ask, and then you pull me out when I'm not doing anything wrong. So, with due respect, you may leave. They need permission. I just don't think there's an easement over there. I got to find out for sure. Because if there's not, I'm going to talk to Steve and maybe set him loose.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? What up, Jay Costeca? Costeca. You know, CC Hall, Danny was smart enough not to put it in writing. He would have just read it. It would have been worse in writing. Skippy77, did you see the Trump Nikki Haley commercial? It was hilarious. Did you see it, Lemmy? My son showed it to me. I guess they did a Nikki Haley commercial that Trump did that was like, we're going to do an instant replay. She said I never said I was going to change Medicare age. And then they're like, let's go. And they show a ref like go to a box. You got to look it up. It's hilarious. Very effective. I watched it. I'm like, she's done.
She's been done.
Yeah, but this is like a nail in the coffin done.
Let's see if I can find it. I'm trying to find it.
I'll see if I can find it.
Clips.
Yeah, you look at that. I'll find the other one.
Hello.
Yes, fat pigs.
Jay Costeca.
You can, if you put in JFK commercial or FK commercial, it comes right up. But you put in the one for Trump and you can't find it.
Imagine
It was
that.
a Super Bowl commercial. It was hilarious.
Well, the Joe Biden commercial shows up pretty quick too.
And I can't find the other one.
The scam that the snacks are stealing.
Was Patrick Mahomes' father at the game?
They didn't show it.
Or was he in jail?
Okay, Rob. What he says that? Bubba, do you want the Joe Biden commercial too for the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Live from Tampa, Florida, home of the big, fat, greasy bitch, it's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. And now, here's your host, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Today's after show with Kushner, me, Lummy Kushner, Anna, Mach, and the Filthy Ginger. We're just gonna. I'm assuming we'll probably talk a lot about the Super Bowl. It's been a while since we've been all together.
Yeah, since Wednesday.
Yeah, and again, let me. How did the best ofs go? Any glitches?
Nope, all good.
And same thing scheduled for this Thursday and Friday.
Yes, it is.
I wonder. Maybe Seth can let me know. Are we going to do a break? Are we going to do? Because it seems like people like these card breaks that we're doing. I think they're kind of like, I don't really know much about them, but it seemed like they get 4,000 or 5,000 hits, and I guess Seth is selling a few cards here and there, and I don't know.
Brings Seth a lot of joy.
It you know what I think
it really
does. If anything, it's therapeutic for him, and keeping him calm is just so much.
It's essential for the business.
It's
to pacify him.
It's very much essential for it's very much essential for the business. Seth doing card break is his horn. Today's after show not exclusively, but the easiest way would for you just to go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. If you could be so kind, maybe sign up to be a lieutenant or a sergeant. That's where you could go in and dive deep into our archives and get some of our stuff.
Yes, you can. It's awesome.
If you're a sergeant, you can stream it, and if you're a lieutenant, you can download it and own it, my friend. So this is Biden,
our president.
This is last week, right?
On the 8th, I believe.
Yeah, it was like 3-4 days ago.
Right.
Hey, buddy.
Is he okay?
No, Anna.
So can I give us like one little setup for this?
Sure.
So this is coming on the heels of the special counsel's report deciding that there's going to be no prosecution for for Biden, despite the fact that he willfully and intentionally retained documents. And the basis for it was, as you know, mental intent is really important. And so they did a 388-page report, and they said throughout it that his mental faculties were waning and that he would be presented as a sympathetic elderly man with a poor memory, and that they couldn't prove it.
That's what the feds said?
Yes. And
so his defense was that he has dementia?
So they can't prove intent, Bubba, because
the FBI report, his own agency comes back with one of the reasons why we cannot proceed criminally or in any way censorship or anything.
Not that he didn't do it.
Yeah, not that he didn't do it, but the reason why we cannot proceed in our investigation is if we were to present him as a witness in front of a jury, he would come across as an old man who has just lost his marbles and cannot really decipher good decisions from bad.
Right. And
in
that, exactly.
But not from your opinion but from the special counsel that was federally appointed to look into this.
Correct. Appointed by Merrick Garland, his own Justice Department, and so the quote was that he was a sympathetic elderly man with a poor memory, and then the quotes that they said from his interview was that he couldn't remember when his vice presidency started. He couldn't remember when his vice presidency ended. he couldn't remember when his son died within a few years of it. So that's the backdrop now, because he's going to try to address those points within 3 hours of the report coming out.
All right.
They decide we're putting this old man out at 8 o'clock. Let him go.
So
here it is.
So this is the government and his team of cabinet and handlers and
We'll show them.
chiefs of staff. This shows that they have scrambled around when this report of why they will potentially not charge him with having documents is because he's a feeble old man and come across as grandpa, get off my lawn. And that report comes from his very own State Department. Correct? And so his handlers say, we've got to get in front of this. So while the iron's still hot, let's prop up the press to address these allegations, right?
Correct.
To try to get in front of it.
Yep.
Boom.
We're gonna disprove that he's an old man.
Yeah, exactly.
A few things before I take your questions. As you know, the special counsel released his findings today. Well, they're looking to my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see he reached a firm conclusion that no charges should be brought against me in this case. This was an exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years, even into the 1970s when I was still a new United States Senator. The special counsel acknowledged I cooperated completely. I did not throw up any roadblocks. I sought no delays. In fact, I was so determined to give the special counsel what he needed, I went forward with a 5-hour in-person interview over 2 days on October the 8th and 9th of last year, even though Israel had just been attacked by Hamas on the 7th and I was very occupied. It was in the middle of handling an international crisis. I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case. The special counsel wrote, and I quote, "Several material distinctions between Mr. Trump's case and Mr. Biden's are clear," continuing to quote, "Most notably, after given multiple chances to return classified documents to avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. According to the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents for many months."
Now, why would you bring the Trump deal in when you're just trying to defend?
Because people often make that comparison. He's trying to say why they were different.
Because they're prosecuting Trump
for the same thing.
Yes.
Right.
So you could probably go a little bit further to where, right about maybe there.
Right here?
That's the biggest forehead I've ever seen.
On page 9, since the report was released about my willful retention of documents. These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong. On page 215, if you had a chance, I know it's a thick document.
Keep going a little further.
On page 215 of the report of the special counsel, page 12, the special counsel also wrote,
Keep going.
"The evidence suggests documents. In addition, when my son died."
Right here. Okay. Yeah, go right there. Okay.
There's even reference that I don't
There.
remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that?
Well, I mean,
Was that his defense?
Yeah.
I mean, how the hell you raise? I mean, it's just a question. I mean,
you raise it every time you talk about anything. By the way, whenever you mention anything, you relate it back to yourself. You narcissist about how it's just like when your son died. Does anyone remember that part of him?
The question I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something.
he doesn't come across as a hard ass when he tries to. When he tries to be a hard ass, he fails.
Not as malarkey around
Some
me.
of you have commented. I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of.
Your Lady of what?
Yeah.
What exactly?
Every Memorial Day we hold a service remembering him, attended by friends and family and the people who
So
loved him.
go a little bit further, and then you'll see now him leave, and then he'll come back and do the press conference where he takes the questions, and he just absolutely butchers the questions. Peter Ducey roasts him.
All right,
That's their decision to make. That's the council's decision to make. That's his job. And they decided not what they're talking about.
So
I've
he had a
always
chance to walk off the stage after just flubbing one thing, and then he comes back and he misstates that the Assisi, the president of Egypt, is the president of Mexico.
All right, let me get to it.
Bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue.
I think that's where he takes some questions. Is that where the wheels start falling off? The questions?
I've always focused on my job of being president of the United States of America. Now, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad
out.
is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak. That's my.
You just ate your own logic, bud.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, look, my memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory. Take a look at what I've done since I become president.
Do you
None of
remember?
it
Watch this person keep
passed
going.
Any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President,
Wait, what?
Mr. President, voters have concerns about
This
your
question.
age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concerns about your age?
Only by some of you.
Mr.
President, you were cleared of criminal liability today. So do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
Man, think about how good these journalists, they must have to practice on how to step over people.
Oh, yeah.
Jay, you need to be a journalist. Shut
Roast them. I want to do one
take
congressional or
responsibility
Senate
for not
hearing
having,
once.
I mean, seeing exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me, but my staff.
It's getting irritated.
So loud. Mr. President, for months when you were
Listen,
asked about
this
your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me."
Watch
Many
me.
American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your
according
judgment.
to public
That is
polling.
not
They
the
express
judgment of the
concerns-
press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your
Because
answer
I'm
to
the
that
most
question?
qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Do you believe that, guys? Why are you?
All right, let me go into words because does it get worse?
Yeah, he misstates who the president of Egypt is and calls him the president of Mexico.
All right, let me look into those points, so we can end the show with those, okay? And on time.
Science has studied his brain and still has no theories about the things that come out of it.
I'm talking, you fat ass.
Bubba. The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
Polls were 70% of Americans think he may be too old. Polls came out this morning, 83%. That went up like 13% in 4 days.
I didn't want him done, I didn't read it to you, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan.
One of the other distinctions is he wasn't president when he took
Well, it
these
looks like at like
documents.
9:35 or 9:40 is when he talks about. It's when he walks back up to the stage after he leaves.
So Trump took all his documents.
He talks about Mexico.
There's a presidential record. So that's why this is such bullshit.
Right there. Right?
Yeah, he comes back. He gets a question and goes
All
back.
right, perfect. Thank you, buddy.
Martin Marcosa, Luke Jones, Dr. Maker.
Why did they do that?
Because they, I guess
Were they
they
looking for
suspected,
something else?
they suspected they had some presidential stuff. And they determined you can't do it, civil violation, and you either get it back, you don't get it back, and so it's not even criminal.
Who do you think tips them off? Because a lot of people don't even know that these documents exist, and then all of a sudden.
I think you could probably say that they all done it.
Oh,
I bet
certainly.
you if you looked at any of them, they all have something.
When did the FBI raid Clinton? The Sox thing. It was after he left office. And so Trump was relying on that to go.
It
Hey,
may not
he
been,
wasn't
instead of been an FBI raid, it may have been that he voluntarily produced. So I don't remember exactly. Did Clinton
Let's
produce
find
the
out.
tapes in his Sox tapes case, or did he have the FBI raid him?
I think the FBI.
Let's find out together.
I don't think it was like a raid like they did Trump, but the FBI seized them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can see it's completely different. I mean,
machine gun.
Asked the court in 2010 to
Had all
declare
other
the
documents
tapes
in, like, a office
presidential
building.
records and
Next to
Yeah. And there's some in Chinatown. They have him in his backyard, his garage. It's pretty private.
He told on himself? Wrote that, oh.
Would he put in a memoir or something?
When Clinton was president, he was interviewed dozens of times by this historian to create an oral history of his presidency from 1993 to 2001. All these different sources wrote that Clinton kept the audio tapes in his sock drawer. In 2009, Grand published a book called The Clinton Tapes, Wrestling History of the President.
That's what Trump was relying on, is the Presidential Records Act, which says that it's civil issue, not criminal, and that the president has an absolute
They were
right.
personal records that did not. So this was different, though.
Well, he's saying he had personal tapes of conversations that were confidential. I mean,
No, it says he was interviewed dozens of times by a historian to create an oral history of his presidency.
Right, and during that time, they discovered he had the tapes.
Oh, I thought that he recorded it, and those were the tapes.
He had tapes of his actual recordings with world
Oh,
leaders
right.
during his presidency that he took home.
Asking the court to declare audio tapes prisoner. Wanted to the court to declare.
The whole principle is, once you've been president and you've had confidential, secret, access to everything, there's nothing you can't see. You can see everything.
It's crazy. So, like, if Trump was like, dude, maybe he's just like, listen, I've been fascinated by the Kennedy assassination for years. Can I just open that shit up and take a look at what you got? And then be like, oh, so was y'all.
What I believe he kept were documents that proved some of his decisions were right. So, like, one of them was that there are documents that he discussed the Iranian deal and how John Bolton wanted to go to war and he didn't. That was a big deal. And so he saved some memos on that. And then I believe he probably saved some of the Russia dossier bullshit that he found out that he declassified. There's plenty of evidence to show that.
If you declassify, then do you have to return?
Right, you shouldn't have to, but they're like viewing these nuances of it's, just boxes and bathrooms and you know what I mean? It's like, he doesn't have to write all of it.
And some stuff from North
Yeah,
Korea.
he had handwritten notes, the love letters.
Between
He had menus from good state dinners. He had cool stuff. He liked the folders that said confidential. Sometimes he just had empty manila folders that said confidential information. It's like
little memento.
Mementos. And I'm sure there was stuff that he had that he wanted to keep. Figures you saw his Drake's dong, Steve. My son did too, unfortunately. Apparently everyone on the internet did, and he's it's a Tommy Lee moment. Drake's like Tommy Lee of the 2020s. Did you hear that whole thing online?
Oh, his masturbation video?
Yeah, he's not embarrassed because he got caught masturbating because he's got an anaconda.
Yeah, I did see.
I didn't hear about it. I didn't see it, but apparently everyone is amazed by it, like the Tommy Lee era, where it was like, oh my lord. They're like, he's rich, he can rap, he's got a jet, he can sing, and he's got that.
It's weird that he has pictures. Well, maybe he was sending it to a woman.
It's still weird, it's gross. No woman I know wants to see that.
Did you see the picture of the couple fucking, or the video of the couple fucking in Vegas? Travis Scott was doing a concert, and I guess it's inside of a hotel, so there's some hotel suites you can see it. Well, this couple opened the blinds, they openly.
I apologize for interrupting your regular program.
Yo, Power Pick, hello.
Should hit these with everything we got, sir.
Living vicariously through his bizarre world.
Imagine how much protein's in my body.
This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you live in Florida and you want to see some unbelievable dirt track racing this weekend, come to Bubba Raceway Park, Ocala Speedway, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday nights. Saturday night would probably be the night. This will be the second weekend of having a USAC 410 non-wings And my God, is it a show? Jay, you know him. I think within the legal circles, he's, not that you mark out to anybody, but he's certainly a very well-respected lawyer in town. He's like one of the big guys, Todd Foster.
Oh, yeah, he's one of my boys, one of my good dear friends.
Todd Foster came to the races Saturday night. He likes that kind of thing. Todd Foster, of course, represented the Eisenbergs. Got them.
He's a superstar. He's one of the best federal defense lawyers in town. And if I know anyone that's in real trouble, I call him.
If you know somebody that needs to go fed, you call Todd.
Absolutely. Right? First call. And you know what? He'll take our call right off the bat.
Oh, he's such a good dude.
He's a good dude. So did you let him go up in the box and check out all the stuff?
He had his run of the place, whatever he wanted to do.
That's cool.
He is such a cool dude. He's got a really, really, really interesting case that I'm going to try to, let me give you the information to try to find the docket.
Okay.
That's coming to trial. And it's really, I can't even really speak about it until I think it's been filed. I think the lawsuit's been filed and it's going to trial, so I can find it publicly. But it's a very, very, very big whodunit, and I don't know if the Tampa media doesn't know about it. But it's about this girl who the Tampa PD said killed herself, but her boyfriend was in the car with her. And the Tampa PD botched the investigation, and when the guy said, "Hey, she killed herself," they let him go and wash his hands and totally didn't even suspect him as being a subject of person of interest. He was in the car when she supposedly He was in the car when she supposedly offed herself, and the TPD just kind of pretty much just went by his word. And the girl's parents are very affluent, and they hired Todd to do like an accident recreation and the whole 9 yards, and he thinks he's got him. He thinks he's got him dead to rights.
Isn't the boyfriend always a suspect or a person of interest, and the person who last saw them and the person who's in the vehicle? I mean, really?
Yeah,
All three of those? One of those makes you a prime suspect.
Anyway, I'm going to dig on that, okay?
Okay.
So Joe Biden decides it's not going so swell, so he walks away, right? But then, he comes back.
Yeah, he
What?
does.
What? He's like, I can't even.
Oh, and another thing.
Let me show them.
Just by his.
I got this.
I'm of the view, as you know, that the conduct of the response
Let me find what I'm trying to read.
in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top. I think that, as you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
Because Mexico borders Gaza.
And there's a gate there.
I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side. I've been pushing really hard to get humanitarian assistance into Gaza. There are a lot of innocent people who are starving, a lot of innocent people who are in trouble and dying, and it's got to stop, number one. Number two, I was also in a position that I'm the guy that made the case that we have to do much more to increase the amount of material going in, including fuel, including other items. I've been on the phone with the Qataris, I've been on the phone with the Egyptians, I've been on the phone with the Saudis to get as much aid as we possibly can into Gaza. There are innocent people, innocent women and children who are also in badly in need of help. And so that's what we're pushing.
All right,
I'm pushing very hard now.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Grandpa. Go get your oatmeal, change your diaper. I'm not even going to get into the commercial. He had a commercial.
Yeah.
We'll probably get into the commercials on the podcast.
Perfect.
Okay? We'll do that. Go to Bubba Army HQ. Download that podcast today. Seth will have it up by like one or two. Or anywhere else you get your podcasting stuff. Spotify, iHeart, Google Play, Apple, iTunes. Doesn't matter. We'll do the podcast next. Jay, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Co-host and show historian, Lummox.
Co-host, Anna Hummel.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council. Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Brett, the Filthy Ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello. I'm back.